wonder, the master of this disaster, Dr. Greg Hoover!
All right, here we go. I got to make sure I know which buttons to push. Because, it's been since last Thursday. And we weren't even here last Thursday. We were at Lumberjack. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4 with the weekend, 5, 6 days since I pushed buttons here. So I hope that I will be able to do so. It's just my little wish right now anyway.
Let's hope that muscle memory kicks in.
Well, I'm hoping so too. It is a Wednesday. That means we'll do our top 5 at 7 on Wednesday coming up today, which means our top 5 1950 songs, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Top 5 1950 songs. I have my list. Believe it or not in any order yet, but I got time. So
sure, yeah.
Let's see. Coming up today, Candy Mound joins us. She was a postponement on my behalf last week. And then I think we're set ready to go right now. I think we got it all cleared up. That's what's happening today. Yeah. Oh, we'll talk a little bit about my trip to Nashville. I don't know what Jason might have said yesterday, but it probably was a lie. And I don't even know what he said. So, but I'm just going by that. And now all sorts of things like that. We'll catch up. Anyway, Bill.
He said it was a great time, and you and Rhonda were like the best guests ever.
I'll be curious to see what he did say. Do you have the count? Do you have the countdown, by the way?
I do not. No, I put it on top of everything. It should be there.
Well, it's easy for you to say. Yeah. So you're not looking through 3,000 papers.
Actually,
right now.
He didn't say all that much about your trip down
there. Oh, didn't he?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good then. A few stories, not as many.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. A lot of times I have a lot of the misadventures of not a lot this time. Not a lot this time. Just one, and it's really not that bad. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that after we do the news at the bottom of the hour. Come out. We'll do our world record, and then we'll talk about my little trip to.
So what you're saying then is that she didn't actually have any wine the whole weekend?
No, I didn't say that.
My assumption was always that was what caused most of this adventure.
Oh, that's not the cause of it, Bill. Oh, you silly man.
I'm just trying to cut her some slack.
I know, but it's no. I'm getting myself in trouble, digging the hole deeper.
No.
She's not awake.
She loves this banter.
Yeah, she doesn't even know I left this morning. I think is how that goes.
She loves good radio.
Yeah, she does. That's why she never listens.
It's like Howard Stern and all the crap he talk about.
Yeah.
And then surprised his wife left him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I never got that. But hey, baby, it was just a radio gig.
Yeah. It was really, I'm making it up, just for, so you never quite got that, did he?
No.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, it is 6:17. Good morning, everyone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The John Allison Public House Countdown brought to you by the John Allison Public House, located 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle. Their doors open up at 11 a.m. today. Check out their Facebook page, see what's going on there. Let's see here. Their next band is May 2nd. City Creek Band will be there and playing. That is again on May the 2nd. Here's the countdown for today. It is the 23rd day of April, the 113th day into the year. 252 days are left. We got 7 days left. Only a week left to get your car inspected. That seems like April just started, and here it is. So if you haven't made your appointment yet to get your car inspected, I would advise to do so today, because they get, a lot of people wait till the last week. And Dixon's and Antrim Way, they're the ones on our list for you to see. 9 days to the bulk drop-off days. That's happening on the 25th days away. Now, how comes that can't be right, can it?
What's that?
9 days to the bulk drop-off days. Where's the 25th? That's this Friday, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 9 days. So it can't be 9 days. It can only be...
yeah, it's like 4 days.
Yeah, well, Thursday, Friday, 2 days.
Wednesday, right? Yeah.
2 days.
Yeah, it's 3 days. Yeah.
Well, 2 days.
Yeah, because that's right. It's Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah. So I'm
So it was
surprised,
off
Bill.
by a week.
You usually catch that.
Well, I think it may have been correct up until today, maybe.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Okay.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
okay.
6. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Cinco de Mayo is 12
So
days
it was,
away.
It was more. It was off by a week.
Yeah, it was off by
Okay.
a week.
I did catch the other one.
I see that one. Yeah. I wonder if they're all that way.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
I double checked.
G Olympics 15 days out. The Shred event 17 days out, May 10th. Get your sensitive material or unsensitive material. We don't care what what your emotions is for your papers there. And bring them up.
I'm taking all the complaint letters we've received about the morning show.
Well, no, you're only allowed to take 5 boxes.
I was just going to say, what's the box limit?
You're only allowed to take 5 boxes, so you're going to have to like disguise yourself and come back. It's
Something wrong with me, Greg. I kept all those letters.
I think that's Bill Gore again. No. He has a mustache.
Yeah, that's right.
A big one. He looks like Mario? Yeah, that's what it is. It can't be
I'm
Bill.
thinking more like Snidely Whiplash.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that one. I like that one better. The Shred event, 17 days away. Mother's Day is 18 days away. Memorial Day, 33 days out. That's it. Hard to believe. We're a month away from the unofficial start of summer. School ends in 41 days. Yeah, that's right after Memorial Day. 51 days till the drive-by fun drive. 51 days till that event happening in June. Of course, 52 days to the Flag Day. 51 days, we'll be out in the front porch broadcasting live as we always do on that day, collecting funds to help the radio station. And that's basically it. Drive by, throw money at us, and we'll collect it wherever you may throw it, and we go from there. Flag Day, 52 days away, and of course that is also a drive-by fun drive day, and it's also the 9th anniversary of the station they said wouldn't make it. And, here we are. The show that didn't last to the station that didn't last. We're all right here, and it's happening.
I remember the predictions were it wasn't going to make it to the end of the first Old Home Week.
Yeah, that's right. That was our show, I think it was. But here we are.
Oh, yes.
Here we are, believe it or not. Father's Day is 53 out, 58 to the first day of official summer, and then the 93.7 days of summer coming up.
Nice.
Where we'll be giving away thousands of dollars each. No, wait, that's not us. That's never mind. I got the wrong station in mind there. Canadian Day is 69 days out. 4th of July, 72. 79 to the Sidewalk Day sales in Greencastle. Old Home Week 2025. 100 days. Now, you did check that one, didn't you, Bill? 100
Yes,
days.
yes.
Okay. By the end of the week, we'll be into 2 digits instead of 3 digits. That's amazing. 101 days. 102, Florida Keys on the Square. 3, 4, 105, the Jason Cabler on the Square. Lots of fun coming up. WRGG Old Home Week show featuring the fabulous fun caps, the fabulous hubcaps, is now at 103 days away. Tickets on sale. Call Linda at 717-597-5460. I think their line's back up. They've been having a little trouble with the home phone with the storm and everything that went through. 100, whatever I said that was, 103 days. 361 days, our square, accident-free. Which is good. 361. Coming up on a year, as a matter of fact. 3,315 days we have been on the air. The morning show today, 2011. Yes! 2011 episode. Who would have ever thought, and who would have ever cared, I guess, but there we are. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 151 of those have been in a row. Thank you, Bill Gore. And Mike Bach now, 38 days to get 37 in. Soon he'll be here every day. That will be that.
Of course, yes.
That was the goal we wanted to achieve, Bill, and I think we will see it. It will occur once he comes in, and he's here every day. He'll never leave again. That's how I look at it. But I always look at things the wrong way sometimes, so that's a possibility there. And see, it's the John Allison Public House Countdown, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, located at 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle.
I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. Celebrate, 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 celebrate.
It's a celebration.
Ah, it sure is. First of all, it's National Administrative Professionals Day.
Okay.
It's National Lost Dog Awareness Day. So the thing is, be aware of like the network that exists, like shelters and so on, but also ways you can prevent your dogs from getting lost. Your microchipping, that sort of thing. Easy to identify them if they're found. The other thing too is like how to prevent them, leashing them and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the gates closed. It's National Cherry Cheesecake Day.
Okay.
I like good cherry cheesecake.
Well, now, who wouldn't?
Yeah, it's National Take a Chance Day. It doesn't matter what it is.
Just take a chance.
Just take a chance.
Well, like if you're listening to the morning show, you've taken a chance.
Taking a huge chance.
Huge chance. I'm not sure why, but thanks for doing that.
It's National Picnic Day.
Picnic Day.
Yes, I do. Picnic.
Oh, picnic day.
Yeah, it's because the weather's starting to get nicer.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's National Talk Like Shakespeare Day. Forsooth. Today was the day he was born in 1597.
Okay.
Verily I say unto thee,
That's biblical.
Gregory.
Did he write the Bible too? barely, I said unto you. Okay, so there. I'm going with the what kind of cheesecake that was?
Cherry cheesecake.
Cherry cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yep, that's me, man. That's what I'm celebrating today. So, all right, there's your celebrations.
Chairman, set the Wayback Machine.
William Shakespeare died on his birthday.
Huh. Wow.
In 1635, Boston Latin School was founded. It is the oldest public school in the country. 1662, Connecticut was chartered as an English colony. 1861, Robert E. Lee was named commander of the Army of Northern Virginia. 1867, England's Queen Victoria and French Emperor Napoleon III turned down plans for a tunnel under the English Channel. Now, originally, the original Napoleon Bonaparte, was the first guy to think of that because he wanted to use it as a means to invade England.
Yeah, I know.
1896, the Vitascope system of movie projection was first displayed in New York City, developed by Charles Francis Jenkins and Thomas Armat. 1900, the word hillbilly was used for the first time in the New York Journal. 1904, the American Academy of Arts and Letters was formed. 1932, the Shakespeare Memorial Theater opened in his hometown of Stratford-on-Avon, England. 1939, Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox hit his first home run. It was the first of 521.
I was going to say, it wouldn't be his last.
No. 1953, the movie Shane opened in theaters, directed by George Stevens, based on the 1949 novel by Jack Schaefer, starred Alan Ladd and Van Heflin. 1954, in a game against the St. Louis Cardinals, Hank Aaron hit his first home run, the first of 755.
It wouldn't be his last one.
No. 1962, Ranger 4, the first U.S. satellite to reach the moon, was launched from Cape Canaveral.
It wouldn't be the last one.
No. 1965, the single I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch by the Four Tops was released. It was the Billboard Song of the Year. 1968, students protesting the Vietnam War occupied parts of Columbia University. Also in 1968, the Methodist Church and the Evangelical United Brethren Church merged to form the United Methodist Church.
What year was that?
1968.
I remember that.
Yeah. 1969, Sirhan Sirhan was sentenced to death for killing Senator Robert F. Kennedy. He was later commuted to a life sentence. 1971, in Britain, Rolling Stones Records released Sticky Fingers, the 9th studio LP by the Rolling Stones. 5 years later, 1976, in Britain, Rolling Stones Records released Black and Blue, the 13th studio album by the Rolling Stones. It was the first to feature Ron Wood. He came over from the band Faces. 1983, Dexy's Midnight Runners had the number one song with Come On Eileen, which, by the way, would be the last.
Yes.
1984, the AIDS virus was identified. 1985, New Coke debuted. Within
Yes.
Within 3 months, the old recipe was back as Coca-Cola Classic.
Stupid.
New
market.
Coke was renamed Coke 2 in 1992. Was discontinued in 2002.
I wonder if they ever fired the guy.
Oh, I know. You know what I used to do just to be a smart aleck. I'll have a new Coke, please.
I did that. My wife got mad because I kept saying, I'll have Coke Zero, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1988, the federal government banned smoking on domestic airline flights of 2 hours or less. Remember how they had, well, first you smoke on planes,
Yeah.
which always kind of weird to me. Then they had like the smoking and non-smoking section.
I know.
But the fact is, it's the same air being circulated through the whole plane.
You can go up there and smoke. Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay. Yeah.
Oh, my. Let's see, 1989, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played his last game in the NBA.
It would be. Oh, it would be
Yes,
his
the
last.
yes.
Yeah.
Also in 1990, in the NFL draft, UCLA quarterback Troy Aikman was the first pick by the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, that a bust. No, it wasn't. It was a great pick for them.
1992, the former mayor of Washington, D.C., Marion Barry, was released from prison. Also in 1992, McDonald's...
She set me up.
That's right, yes. Also in 1992, McDonald's opened its first restaurant in China. 1994, the Libertarian Party nominated Howard Stern to be governor of New York. And then he dropped out because he said he didn't want to disclose his financials.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then he acted like he was surprised he had to do that. 2005, an 18-second clip entitled Me at the Zoo was the first video uploaded to YouTube. The clip features YouTube co-founder Jawed Karim admiring elephants at the San Diego Zoo. 2013, the film Star Trek Into Darkness premiered in Sydney. 2018, Marvel's Avengers Infinity War premiered in Los Angeles. And in 2019, distribution of the world's first malaria vaccine began in Malawi. And in 2019, this is one of my favorites. The rescue host company reported that there were 0 calls the day before.
oh,
And
yes.
that's definitely worth noting.
That is
Yes.
definitely worth noting because that does not happen very often. Which brings us to the bottom of the hour, and I was away over the weekend, and obviously I miss the storm that came through here. Which I was. Chris Palladino was texting me, everything went off the air.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
All that. We weren't the only radio station. Every station in the county and such forth, yeah. And all the damage that it did, it just was horrendous. And a big thank you to all those who were out all night and all day cleaning it up, and what a mess it was. And it seems like, just a little patch of things have gone through and certain areas got hit. But, wow, what a storm it was. Again, I was down in areas where tornadoes are everyday occurrence, and it's happening up here. So it was really strange to happen. But again, fortunately, from what I've gathered, no one was seriously injured, and just a lot of damage was done. And hopefully now most of you have your electricity back that didn't, and things go back to normal as
I
as
knew
they
some
can be.
people as of yesterday evening still didn't have their
Still
power
didn't
back.
have the
Yeah.
power back, yes.
And then there were people, like at work, who were saying they felt nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even know there was a storm.
Didn't know a
until
storm.
Yeah.
Just depending. I mean, it really was a swatch that it hit, and
But it was all the way from here up to Westminster, Maryland.
Yeah.
Over into Fulton County.
Yeah.
Down into parts of West Virginia.
it was pretty nasty.
Yeah, it was.
Pretty nasty.
Well, you saw what happened at the pavilion at the playground.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I did. That was that thing's been there forever, and a lot of damage at the playground. It just seemed to settle in that area, as a matter of fact. But there it is. And so anyway, Chris Palladino says, "How did the dawn greet me?" Well, like a.
By the way, that's the worst thing that happened at the playground since Jason Kabler performed on that.
in that stage down here. Yeah. Oh. Yes.
This was a bigger disaster.
This was, and it's hard to believe.
Yes.
There could have been a bigger one than that one. So, the dawn slapped me in the face this morning, Chris. That's how I look at it. It just slapped me. That's like, I'm not used to it. The last couple of days, slept in
course.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So there you go. Anyway, Chris Palladino and Jason Kabler will be joining us in less than a half an hour. Candy Mound joins us today as well. It's the morning show right here, 93.7 WRGG.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios high above the broadcast house in downtown Greencastle. We are 93.7 WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. One of the most massive wildfires in the history of Ocean County, New Jersey, has burned more than 8,500 acres and forced thousands to evacuate. The Jones Road forest fire was first spotted yesterday morning in the Greenwood Forest Wildlife Management Area. The flames are threatening more than 1,300 structures and have caused scores of power outages. The funeral of Pope Francis will be attended by numerous world leaders, including President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, the UK's Prince William, the British Prime Minister, German Chancellor, French President Emmanuel Macron, and the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. The show by Carlos Santana has been postponed after the legendary guitarist was rushed to a hospital. Santana was scheduled to perform Tuesday night at the Majestic Theater in San Antonio, Texas. A spokesperson for the 77-year-old Rock and Roll Hall of Famer said he was preparing for the show when he suffered dehydration. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Looking for a retirement community close to your hometown? Heritage Retirement Community is in your backyard. Located on Shanks Church Road off the Williamsport Pike. Heritage has expanded and has all of the amenities of the big retirement homes in the neighboring towns, but like Greencastle itself, offers you that small town feel. Heritage has it all, from meals prepared by an on-site chef, a hair salon, to a full range of activities on a daily basis. On-site physical and occupational therapy is offered, as well as physician and podiatry services. For more information, go to heritageofgreencastle.com. Find them on Facebook or set up a visit by calling 717-593-0334. Heritage Retirement Community has it all in your own backyard.
This is a Radio PA news update. Corser Health Hospitals in Delaware County stopped accepting ambulance patients with emergencies at 8 a.m. today. Walk-ins will be accepted for another week under a closure plan approved by a Dallas bankruptcy judge on Tuesday. Crozer Chester Medical Center and Taylor Hospitals are shutting down due to financial issues with layoffs for over 2,600 workers beginning Friday. Closures may be delayed based on how quickly replacement providers are found. The plan has raised concerns about access to emergency maternity care in the region. As Pittsburgh's downtown recovers from the pandemic, efforts are focused on attracting new retailers, with 16 new businesses added in 2023 and 2024. The Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership reports that retail occupancy rates are back to pre-pandemic levels. While food and beverage businesses have thrived, traditional retail and personal services still lag. The PDP's ongoing initiatives, including the Downtown Rent Abatement Program, aim to support new businesses by offering rent subsidies. Despite challenges, the city's retail recovery is gaining momentum. Tesla's quarterly profits have plummeted 71% year over year, with quarter one of 2025 netting just $409 million on $19.3 billion in revenue. The company leaned heavily on $595 million in emissions credits to stay in the black. Without them, it would have posted a loss. Sales slumped amid aging models, underwhelming Cybertruck demand, and backlash to Elon Musk politics. Tesla's pushing forward with cheaper EV plans for 2025 and a June robotaxi launch in Austin. Tariffs and political shifts may further dent future sales. A 22-year-old East Hempfield man is facing assault charges after allegedly stabbing his 26-year-old housemate early Tuesday morning. Police say Noé Jaxcalche felt disrespected, stabbed the man, and barricaded himself in a room before being arrested. The victim is hospitalized but is expected to recover. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Earl's Market on the Square in State Line, Pennsylvania, another generous sponsor of WRGG, is still your old-fashioned country store. Famous for their country-cured hams and old-fashioned store sharp real cheese. If you've never had a homemade hoagie from Earl's Market, well, you've never had a hoagie. There's always a whole lot of meat going on with Earl's old-fashioned hoagies. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Earl's Market on the Square in State Line, where their hams are cured, the cheese is aged, and the hoagies are super.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. If you like food, I've got a deal for you, and you can help one of the schools out here locally. Get to that in a minute. First, damage cleanup in Franklin County moving forward. Meanwhile, damage assessment by Greencastle Emergency Management is complete, and word is that the total damage to residents and buildings in the borough could reach around $250,000. The worst damage to borough property was at Jerome King Playground, where a pavilion was destroyed. I'm sure you've seen the pictures by now, along with some of the aluminum bleachers, and those are going to be costly to replace. Word from Franklin County 911 is that overnight Saturday into Sunday, well over 500 911 calls were made, while in Washington County, the 911 center there received well over 1,500 calls during the same time period. In Waynesboro, Burnt Hill Cemetery suffered significant damage during the storm. Published reports say it could cost up to $12,000 for repairs. That's money that the nonprofit cemetery doesn't have, and a spokeswoman told ABC 21 that if they cannot come up with the money, they may have to turn the cemetery over to the borough. There is some good news in Greencastle. The new Dollar General store is open. You may have been there already. That's on Antrim Way, and they're planning a grand opening. That's coming up April 26. Be looking for that. In West Virginia, sad news, the National Conservation Training Center, NCTC, in Shepherdstown reports that the 22-year-old bald eagle's nest on the campus there was knocked down in the storm. The 3-4-week-old eaglets did not survive the 90-foot fall. So if you like food, and who doesn't, you can get some good grub and help out the Greencastle Antrim Primary Elementary PTO. They've got a fundraiser going on today at Chipotle on Garland Grove Boulevard, Hagerstown, from 5 till 9. The store will donate 25% of total sales to the PTO. Eat up. Oh, and by the way, officially Earth Day was yesterday, but this Saturday there's going to be a celebration, an Earth Day celebration at Pine Hill Recreation Center, Menser Gap Road. It's a fundraiser put on by the Buttonwood Nature Center. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
Join Mike Kirshner, your host of On Track with Mike, for all the latest regional asphalt and dirt track racing coverage in the tri-state area. Tune in to WRGG Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. when T.A. Ward Construction of Greencastle presents nearly 2 hours of exciting auto racing news. Todd Ward has more than 40 years' experience, fully insured and military veteran. For all your home improvement needs, you can call Todd at 717-331-4974. The green flag drops for On Track with Mike, Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock on your Sports Connection, WRGG, 93.7 FM, and streaming at WRGG.org.
What decade had your favorite music? The 50s? The 60s? Or the 70s? Regardless of which decade had your favorites, we have you covered. We play the best music from the 50s, 60s, and 70s on your good companion station, WRGG 93.7 FM, and on the web at WRGG.org.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have partly to mostly sunny skies, high around 75. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 53. Thursday, mostly sunny, high around 79. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low around 55. And Friday, partly sunny skies with a chance of afternoon showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
45 degrees, cloudy skies in downtown Greencastle. Sun starting to make its way up bright and early here this morning. The humidity sitting at 86%. Record high for today, 92 degrees. That's occurred back in 1960. 23 was our record low. 1936 was the year. 42 to 66, your normal temperatures for this time of the year. We're right where we belong. 621, the sun made an appearance. It'll set at 7:57 in the p.m., 13 hours and 36 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is at 45 degrees at 93.7 WRGG and on the web at WRGG.org. I'm Greg Hoover along with Bill Gore. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I'm sorry, I misread Chris's original text to me. In it, he says, How doth the dawn suffering succotash, the dawn greet ye. Now, see, that greet ye, that is how you say Shakespearean-wise. Yes, and that's, I wanted to get that squared away there because, great line, Chris. I just messed it up. So, anyway, Chris joins us along with Jason Cabler in just a few minutes. Top 5 songs of 1970 or 50. 1950, that's what's coming up. So, But right now, it is time for a
World record.
So a German city broke a Guinness
World record.
when it hosted a parade that features some 900 Dachshunds. How do you say that? The dog, the hot dog? Dachshunds or more. Used to have one. Gretchen was the name of that dog. I remember. I can remember that. I don't know. Regensburg, home of the Dachshund-themed Dockel Museum. There's a museum for them. Hosted the world's largest wiener dog walk. That's how I'm going to say it now. When the Dockel parade featured at least 897 wiener dogs walking with their owners. Oh, okay. Some accounts indicate the number may have been as high as 1,175, but Guinness World Records could only confirm 897. So there you are. He said the parade was aimed at bringing some positive energy to the community. The Dachshund Dachshund isn't political. For the wiener dog, all people are equal, regardless of skin color or where they come from.
Do they need to add that?
I don't know either. Well, but there you know. Now you know. Now you know.
Indeed.
Now you know. So, oh my! As you know, Bill, as you're well aware, I was away over the weekend. We left Friday for Nashville, Tennessee. We've celebrated the last 2 Easters down there, and it is just one of those places. Now, I know a lot of people don't like it because it's too busy downtown and on Boardwalk. But I'm one of those guys who I love live music, and that is like the capital of live music.
Of course.
I forget how many bars there are, establishments down that 3 or 4 block area, but some have 3 or 4 floors with entertainment on each floor. And so,
and I hear you can throw chairs off roofs.
you
and
can throw
everything.
chairs off roofs. It's sort of like,
Oh man!
Now the first day, Friday night we got there, they had the streets blocked off, which was very good, which makes it a little bit easier. Saturday we didn't stay as late, so I'm not sure if they did that or not. But everything seemed in order. Now the first thing that Rhonda noticed is that she said to me, she goes, "There must not be a dress code here in Nashville on Boardwalk." And trust me as I say here and tell you that. One of the worst ones, though, was when Jason came to pick us up, wearing a halter top, mini skirt. He did not look good.
No,
I just took a little way too far. But so here's the first thing. Now this wasn't Rhonda's fault in a sense, but it was sort of funny, and I didn't know how to react to it. But when we got to the airport, we took our luggage up to the Sky Cap, and we were doing that stuff. And I said, "Oh man, I forgot my hanky. I always carry a hanky for emergency purposes. You know, it's something I learned a long time ago, and I had allergies, and my nose ran all the time, and it's an old person thing too. I always carry a hanky. And about that time, the Sky Cap.
And do you keep it sort of like it's half hanging? out of your-
No. I don't
Okay,
do that. I
okay.
hide it. I hide it in my front pocket.
What?
My
But
front,
you're from Greencastle.
my front right. I do not wear a chain with keys on it either. So I said to her, I said, "Oh man, I lost my hanky." And about that time, our Sky Cap said, "I'll be right back." And she looked at me. She goes, "Is he going to get you a hanky?" And I didn't say anything because, yes, he has a box back there.
Of course, yeah.
And people leave, and if you need one, they just recycle it. But the neatest thing that happened.
Whether they all have pictures of Jason Cabler on them. For some reason, there's like boxes and boxes
and
of
boxes
those
of
just
those.
sitting around.
Take one, please. So we're walking down. This one I loved. We're walking down the airport near our gate, going to our gate, obviously, and we hear this, "Greg," and Rhonda and I look at each other like, it couldn't have been me. And I turn around. It was for me. It was Zach Grace.
No way.
Yeah, Zach Grace was flying home he lives up in the Altoona area.
Right.
He was heading out, and he saw past us in the hallway or whatever you call it, and we talked for a little bit. He was heading home for Easter, and it was really good to see him. And I said,
wow.
Hopefully Jason Cabler will invite you back again, but if he doesn't, we'll invite you back again. But I just thought, she goes, "Oh, great! I can't believe this." We're in the middle of Timbuktu. We're at the Nashville airport, and someone knows me, so that just made me feel really good. I held my head a little higher the rest of the trip on that one. I said, just wait till we get to Broadway. But no one knew me down there. I did see there were some people from Greencastle. They were showing pictures that they were there, but I didn't run into them while we were there. Cool. So yeah, but so a nice time. That was good. The one incident that we did have, now Jason and Carrie were meeting us on Sunday. We were going to go out to eat, and Rhonda says they can't find this hotel in the GPS. And I said, okay. I said, did you give them? I mean, you told them it was the Joseph, right? She goes, oh, that's right. It's not the Jordan. And so she thought we were staying at the Michael Jordan Hotel, but it was the Joseph Hotel, and then that sort of square thing. But it was nice to see those two. We had a really great time with them. I don't know what Jason told you, but we had a really good
time.
Yeah, we had a really good time with them.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So that was basically the extent of the trip. I got, when we get to our location after getting from the airport, I text Jason right away to say, hey, guess who I saw? And he said, Zach Grace. He told me already. Ah, okay. Ruined it for me. There it was. But so, yeah, again, like I said, we saw what marvels me, and I've said this 100 times and maybe 1,000 times, everybody there, and there's a song that Jason Aldean had out a long time called I don't know everybody, but he says, and he talks about Nashville, and he says everybody sings and everybody plays, right? And everybody does sing and everybody does play. I saw some great guitar players, I saw some great singers, and you wonder, okay, how didn't they make it? And others have, but it's just the luck of the draw sometimes. But so yeah, you can. We listen to country music, we listen to blues, we listen to rock and roll, we listened to old songs, new songs, everything was there. It was pretty amazing.
Very cool.
Now the other thing Rhonda says, the bands tear down. They when they're done, it's like you go 10 to 2, 2 to 6, 6 to 10, and 10 to 2. That's the bands coming in, and so they're constantly coming in, and there's not a lot of downtime on it. And she goes, how comes your band takes so long to set up and tear down? Well, first of all, the drums are provided. All you do is bring in your cymbals and your snare drum and your seat.
Right.
The PA system's already there. All you do is unplug and plug back in. And the microphones are already set up, ready to go. So they do that very quickly. And Rhonda wants us to do that when we're done. It's not going to be that way, but just how it is. So anyway, speaking of Jason Kabler, and of course, as we mentioned, he'll be along in just a few moments with Chris Palladino.
Birthday club, the birthday club. Everybody celebrates the birthday club on WRGG.
Mentioned during the celebrations, William Shakespeare was born this day. It was in 1564. English playwright, poet, and actor.
He doth. Been born.
Yes, indeed.
Been born.
His known works include 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and 3 long narrative poems. His plays covered comedies, histories, and tragedies, include Julius Caesar, Hamlet, and Much Ado About Nothing. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language. 1791 saw the birth of James Buchanan, American attorney, statesman, and politician, who served as 15th President of the United States from 1857 to 1861. He also served as Secretary of State, Minister to Russia, and Minister to the United Kingdom, and represented Pennsylvania in both houses of Congress. He was the first president of Pennsylvania and the only bachelor president. You know, the sad thing is, he's always, much maligned as one of the worst presidents because he really didn't do anything to prevent the Civil War.
Right. In
fact, a lot of his actions actually encouraged it. But up until then, he had a phenomenal resume.
Yeah.
He went to Dickinson Law School when he was like 16. He was a very successful lawyer.
Right.
Obviously, when he entered politics, he was,
successful. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yes, indeed.
Well, it's always that one thing that sort of defines you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Richard Nixon's a great
absolutely.
example of that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, really good president until Watergate, and that's all you remember. So.
Yep. 1928, Shirley Temple Black was born, American actress, singer, dancer, and diplomat, who was Hollywood's #1 box office draw as a child actress from 1934 to 1938. Later, she was named United States Ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia and served as chief of protocol. Her films include The Little Colonel, The Littlest Rebel, Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, and Heidi. 1936 saw the birth of Roy Orbison, American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. He wrote or co-wrote almost all his own top 10 hits, including Only the Lonely, Running Scared, Crying, In Dreams, and Oh Pretty Woman. In 1988, he co-founded the Traveling Wilburys with George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, and Jeff Lynne. Orbison was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. His remake of Crying they did with Katie Lang, that was my number 7 yesterday.
Oh, okay.
1939, David Burney was born, American actor and director whose career included performances in theater, film, and television. His TV series include St. Elsewhere, Bridget Loves Bernie, and Serpico. He began acting while in the U.S. Army. 1940 saw the birth of Harvey Lee Yerry II, better known as Lee Majors.
Oh.
American actor, portrayed the characters of Heath Barkley on The Big Valley, Colonel Steve Austin on The $6 Million Man, and Colt Seavers on The Fall Guy. You're lucky enough if you're an actor to have one hit TV show. He had 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
His films include The Norseman, Clambake, and Will Penny. Majors and his then-wife, Farrah Fawcett Majors, were the inspiration for the song Midnight Train to Georgia. It was written by his friend Jim Weatherly.
Really?
Yeah, he called up to talk to Lee, and Farrah answered.
Oh.
And she said, I got to go. I'm catching the midnight
train.
Plane to Houston.
Oh.
That's where her family was from.
Okay.
And he's like, midnight
Plane
Then he starts
to
sitting down.
Houston.
Yeah, he starts writing all these lyrics down. In fact, originally it was about the two of them.
Yeah.
And then it turns into, of course, a story about, a couple that's actually breaking up.
Right, yeah.
But, it was all inspired by that phone
Well,
call.
I thought she was following him back to...
Yeah.
You know I will.
1942 saw the birth of Sandra Dee, born Alexandra Zuck, an American actress who began her career as a child model. Her films include Gidget, Imitation of Life, A Summer Place, and Until They Sail, for which received the Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year. Hervé Villechaize, born on this day in 1943, French actor best known for his roles as the evil henchman Nick Nack in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun, and as Mr. Rourke's assistant, Tattoo on Fantasy Island. At 18, he became the youngest artist ever to have his work displayed in the Museum of Paris. Joyce DeWitt, born on this day in 1949, American actress, played Janet Wood in the sitcom Three's Company. She earned her bachelor's degree in theater from Ball State University and her Master of Fine Arts from UCLA. Because she was from nearby West Virginia. 1957, Jan Hooks was born. American actress and comedian, best known for her tenure on Saturday Night Live from 1986 to 1991. Her other TV work includes Designing Women, Third Rock from the Sun, 30 Rock, and The Simpsons. Hooks' films include Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Batman Returns, and Coneheads. 1960 saw the birth of Valerie Bertinelli.
That's your list.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than my list, trust me, but still. Yeah.
Valerie Bertinelli, born on this day in 1960, American actress and television personality. TV work includes One Day at a Time, for which she won 2 Golden Globe Awards, Touched by an Angel, and Hot in Cleveland. Bertinelli has hosted several programs for Food Network, including Valerie's Home Cooking and Kids Baking Championship. And 1961 saw the birth of George Lopez, American stand-up comedian and actor best known for the sitcom George Lopez, of which he was the co-creator, writer, producer, and star. It was Sandra Bullock who suggested that Lopez produce and star in a sitcom. She said there wasn't enough representation of Hispanics on TV, suggested he'd do something about that. But, Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do, and here they are for today, the 23rd day of the month of April. Angie Sparkman with a birthday today. Kim Palmer is celebrating as well. And Sherilyn Carudi King, or Sherilyn King if I don't put the other name in there. And Diane Stottlemyre Groover, which is a derivative somehow through marriage. I believe that's how that works.
That's our niece. That's Barry and Mandy's little girl.
Yes. So have a happy birthday to all those having a birthday.
Who has actually been a guest on the show.
Well, she has been on our show. She's written a book or 2.
Yes, indeed.
And has been a guest on the show. It is the birthday club. Got a birthday you want to celebrate? Go to our webpage, fill out the information there. We'll get it. If it's today, send us an email or a text message. They all come to the same place, studio at WRGG.org, or text us at 717-444-WRGG. Good morning, everyone. The Morning Show, Greg Hoover, along with Bill Gore, Candy Mound joining us today. Right now, Jason Kabler is getting set to join us. Chris Palladino will do so. And what I wanted to say with Jason's with us right now. Jason, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
You know, I'm good. I'm awake. I wasn't awake yesterday. We got back a little bit later. Some little delays, not long delays in the flight back, but you know how that works. And
I told the guys, I said, listen, when we were in Nashville, Greg said, I'm going to try to be there on Tuesday, and I actually believed you. I don't know why. I was foolish on my part.
I believe Mike Bach when he said he was coming in too, but so we all are gullible in some simple way there. So, but no, we had a nice trip. We had a nice time with Jason and Carrie, and we just did. I mean, there was nothing.
I took you guys to my favorite place to go when I do go downtown, which is very rare. There's one place I'd like to go, and I took Greg and Rhonda to it. It's called the Bourbon Street Blues and Boogie Bar.
Yes, it has a long title to it. But
did you boogie?
We did not, but we listened to some boogie.
All right. Were you born to boogie?
Greg couldn't boogie. He didn't have his hanky.
See, that sounds like a blues song right there. I couldn't boogie without my hanky.
That was a good one, Jason.
Thank you.
Just because you didn't adhere to the dress code when we got there, but no, nice time was had by all. It really was, and look forward to their visit, supposedly. Old Home Week. I know Jason's coming, but whether the missus, sort of missus, but not really the missus, comes along is we hope that she does. We love to see her, and we'll see how.
I think she'll be there. I'll be up there before then, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to kidnap her up there.
Okay, well that's all we need to do is kidnap. It's a real simple thing to do.
Yeah. You call her the missus because you don't miss me, but you miss her.
That's what basically it is. Yes. Rodney keeps, I love her. Yeah. I love her too, and I like Jason. So, hey, it all balances out on that one. Nice. It all balances out. And, okay. Well, look, it's 7 o'clock, 45 degrees right now, 7 o'clock. Jason is with us, and we await Chris Palladino. We're going to do our top 5 at 7. It's our favorite 50 songs. That's coming up just a few minutes away. Going to take that break for NBC Radio News at the top of the hour. Check out the weather forecast from Jim Vaughn, and we shall return right here, 93.7 WRGG.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. One of the most massive wildfires in the history of Ocean County, New Jersey, has burned more than 8,500 acres and forced thousands to evacuate. The Jones Road forest fire was first spotted yesterday morning in the Greenwood Forest Wildlife Management Area.
Hoping, praying, that it just stays away. But, I'm sure there's other people that are going to lose stuff.
The fires are unpredictable, and when you have large animals, it makes it really scary.
The flames are threatening more than 1,300 structures and have caused scores of power outages. The funeral of Pope Francis will be attended by several world leaders. The guest list includes President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, the UK's Prince William, the British Prime Minister, German Chancellor, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. The Pope died Monday after suffering a stroke at the age of 88. David Ushery at the Vatican this morning as pilgrims remember the late pontiff.
At the setting of the Roman sun, the collective cadence of faith and prayer could be heard in St. Peter's Square. They prayed for the improved health of Francis here in much the same way, now praying for his rest in peace. Earlier, the body of Francis displayed for the first time. For now, the ritual gatekeeper is the Irish-American Cardinal Kevin Farrell, once a bishop in Dallas. Vatican employees who worked in Casa Santa Marta, where Francis lived, lining up to bid farewell.
Tesla says its first quarter financial numbers missed expectations, with automotive revenue dropping 20%. Overall profits fell 71% in the first 3 months of the year. And President Trump will speak to graduates at the University of Alabama and West Point next month. In a true social post late Monday night, the president said he's agreed to do the commencement addresses at the two schools. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Gano Paving Incorporated, locally owned and operated for over 48 years, offers commercial and residential paving, commercial and residential seal coating, plus line striping, excavating, and utility work. No job is too big or too small. Licensed in Pennsylvania and Maryland, you may call Gano Paving at 717-597-2567 to make an appointment for a free estimate. Check their website. Follow them on Facebook. A proud sponsor of WRGG. Gano Paving is located at 1455 Buchanan Trail West, Greencastle, Pennsylvania.
You'll want your place looking its very best. Mark's Lawn Care is ready to help. Mulch, decorative stone, gravel, and topsoils are available at the lower level of 400 North Antrim Way. You may web order at markslawncare.org or call in and order for no contact of customer with employee service. Delivery can be arranged. At location pickup is available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays, 8 till 2. For all your landscaping needs, it's Mark's Lawn Care, North Antrim Way, Greencastle. Sometimes that latest technology designed to make life easier actually causes deep frustration when you just can't make it work. It's Stotler Technologies to the rescue. Sean Stotler will come to your home, office, or business offering computer repair, help with wireless security systems, smart TV setup, teaching, and education. If it's electronic technology, Sean Stotler is the name to remember. Stotler Technologies may be reached by email at stotlertechnologies@gmail.com or by phone at 814-767-0311. Sean will explain the how and whys of the process, teaching you how to make the use of those devices fun again.
WRGG does better than good. We play the best music from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Right here on your good companion station, 93.7 FM, and on the web, WRGG.org.
And a big Panama with the purple hat band. WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have partly to mostly sunny skies, high around 75. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 53. Thursday, mostly sunny, high around 79. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low around 55. And Friday, partly sunny skies with a chance of afternoon showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently 45 degrees, clear skies, sunny skies in downtown Greencastle. Humidity at 84%. Record high for today, 92 degrees. 1960 was the year. Second of 4 days for 92. A lot of 92s coming. 23 degrees in 1936. Average temperatures for today, 42 to 66 degrees. The sun made an appearance at 6:21. It'll set tonight, 7:57 in the p.m., 13 hours, 36 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is at 45 degrees at 93.7 WRGG. 45 degrees at WRGG. I think I said
WRGG 93.7 and on the web at WRGG.org. And now here is the morning show.
Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of the morning show for a Wednesday morning. I am Greg Hoover along with Bill Gore. Thanks for tuning our way today. Joining us via Zoom, of course, we've already talked to Jason Gabler, Chris Palladina now. Well, we've talked to him by text already today, but he joins us as well. Good morning, Chris.
How doth the dawn greet thee?
The dawn had beateth me, slappeth me in the face, I think is what it was. What you doing now? So, guys, thanks for joining us here today. We appreciate it.
Forsooth, I do a test of that.
You do a test of what?
Forsooth.
Oh, forsooth.
How the dawn doth greet thee.
Yes. All right. We're going to do this whole gig in Shakespearean
voice.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. I like rather talking like a pirate. It's easier.
Oh, that's of course, yes.
So Shakespeare, Arth. So we combine the two. Oh, my. So yesterday, just briefly, Jason, what was your favorite song since I missed it?
My favorite song was
Funny
the Way It Is by Dave Matthews.
Okay, number 7. Chris?
It was the Walker Brothers, The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore.
Okay. Bill?
Mine was Crying, but it was the remake by where he does it as a duet with Katie Lang.
Yeah, okay.
Robertson,
Okay,
Katie
cool.
Lang. Yep.
And, of course, you heard mine. 25 or 6-4 is my
Yes, indeed.
Chicago contribution to the list of that one. So, all right, that being said, today is our top 5 songs from the 1950s. It was okay. It wasn't as easy as I thought it would be to narrow down the numbers, but I was able to do that. Well, actually, I haven't really put them in order yet, so I got to go do that right now. So as you guys go, so Jason,
I thought it was the 1850s, and all of mine are like square dance calls
by Shakespearean voices.
Yes, exactly.
That's how that works. So let's see, Jason. Let's see what your top 5 are.
All right, yeah, this is actually very tough for me just because there's so many good songs from the 50s that I absolutely love. My number 5 is the Chordettes from 1954. It's Mr. Sandman.
Okay,
nice.
Just love that little clapping thing they do.
Lend me your ear.
Song. Number 4 is Danny and the Juniors from 1957 at the Hop.
Nice.
Good song.
Yeah.
Good song.
My number 3, Who Wrote the Book of Love by the Monotones from 1957.
They weren't so monotonish, but
No, they weren't. They were pretty good. They had some range for sure.
It was pronounced monotones. They were actually from Sicily.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say from Saskatchewan. The Monotones. My number 2 is from 1956. It's Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
I've always wondered that.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Yep. And my number 1, the artist shouldn't surprise you. 1957, it's Buddy Holly. My favorite Buddy Holly song I just love, once again, the clapping thing do. Every day, things are getting slower, going faster than a roller coaster. Beautiful song.
had to sing our number 1 song.
Well, the thing is, Jason's not used to people clapping when he sings.
I know, that's why I do it myself. I feel good about myself.
That's good, Bill. It's good.
Man, such disrespect.
I know.
But that's my top 5. What do you got, Chris?
And it didn't even come from me, which is amazing.
I couldn't resist.
Well, Buddy Holly is going to make my list as well, but I'm going to save it for a little higher on the list. Larry Williams, 1957, Boney Maroney.
Oh, yes.
It was his third single. It went to number 14 that year. And it was one of my mom's 45s that I was able to play when I was a kid that I really liked. And there's just something really innocent about, the lyrics. I love her, she loves me. Oh, how happy we could be making love underneath the apple tree. I mean,
isn't that the Barney song?
Yeah, it is.
I can tell you're well tuned into Barney.
Very much.
Yeah.
Let's go with 20 Flight Rock by Eddie Cochran. Another song was from 1956. It was written by Eddie Cochran and a guy named Ned Fairchild, who I don't know. But 20 Flight Rock was one of those early rock and roll songs that John Lennon and Paul McCartney bonded over. And then I'll go with Little Richard, Tutti Frutti from 1955. I'm trying to imagine what my grandparents must have thought the first time they saw and heard Little Richard.
Right.
Yeah.
He must have seemed like an alien coming down.
Yes, I get that.
With the stage persona and the lyrics, Tutti Frutti was originally good booty. And they changed the lyrics so they could get it on the radio.
That's awesome.
1955, that's pretty early on.
Yes, indeed.
I would say like 55, 56, 57. I would consider that like the big bang of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Kind of like I mean, there were earlier songs like Rocket 88, which was from like 1952, but I'm going to say 55, 56, 67 is really when it exploded.
Oh, that's when Sun Records really took off. And you had that whole class of 55.
By the way, Jason, Lisa Parsons says, I thought it was the Barney song, too.
See that?
Yeah, again, those lyrics, they're very innocent, but it was rock and roll. It had that
Barney's a plagiarism.
So I'm going to say then my number two would be Roll Over Beethoven from 1956, Chuck Berry. I know that it has been noted before that a lot of Chuck songs sound the same. He uses that 1-4-5 chord progression in just about every key there is, and he was the master of the. Jason would understand this, the pentatonic scale of lead guitar playing. But more important than the music itself, the lyrics were very visual, and you could almost see it play out like a video. You know, and that's what I really love about it. And my number one would be Buddy Holly. That'll be the day from 1956 originally, and the hit version 57.
Ah, okay. Very good.
Yep, I had a chart. So both of ours, our number ones were Buddy Holly. I had trouble deciding. That would be the. I mean, that's what started it all, right? I mean, so that was a good pick. I love it.
Yeah. That's another one of my mom's records.
Ah,
very cool.
Very good. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Bill, you're up.
Buddy Holly's on my list, too. Let's see. My number 5, When It's Springtime in Alaska, it's 40 Below by Johnny Horton. Came out in 59, one of his number one songs. That's, oh, man, that banjo playing at the beginning is just phenomenal. And Johnny Horton was one of my mom's favorites. That's, I grew up listening to his records. Let's see.
He heard a Who.
He heard a Who.
Yes, Horton hears a Who, yes. Johnny Horton was an interesting guy. I mean, he was a phenomenal songwriter.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. This talking about banjo. This is when you add banjos to any song. All right, I get it. There you go.
I love how Greg is clearly paying attention to us.
Yes.
Well, it was about a banjo. He said, I love the banjo in the beginnings, and this was add banjos to any song.
Greg's constantly thinking, what buttons can I press?
I thought it tied in quite nicely.
I thought so
Thank
too.
you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Let's see. And also, like Chris was saying, Johnny Horton, he told stories. You know, when it's springtime in Alaska, you've got Sink the Bismarck. So many great songs. You know, he was married to Hank Williams' widow, and he was convinced he was going to die in a car, just like Hank, and he ends up dying in a car accident. Number 4.
He was right.
I've got Buddy Holly on here, Crying, Waiting, Hoping from 59. Of course, he actually recorded, there were 3 different versions released over the years. There's the version from 59. There was a 64 version, which was released later, obviously after he passed. But that was, and then there was the one he recorded originally in his home studio. But I go with the 59 version, obviously. And what a phenomenal song that is. Number 3, I have to have the Everly Brothers on here. So I go with Bye Bye Love from 1957. The husband and wife team of Felice and Bulow Bryant wrote that one. They wrote so many great songs, either alone or together. And a lot of them by the Everly Brothers, including Love Hurts and Wake Up Little Susie. My number 2 is I Walk the Line from 1956, Johnny Cash. After a few hits that charted moderately, that was his first big hit, and what a phenomenal song that was. And then my number 1, El Paso by Marty Robbins.
Can I guess? Okay. I was going to say you were going to do Conway Twitty.
No, almost. But now I'm going with El Paso by Marty Robbins. That was one of my dad's. Marty Robbins and Johnny Cash are my dad's 2 favorite singers. And Conway Twitty and Johnny Horton, my mom's 2 favorites. But yeah, I went with El Paso by Marty Robbins, which again, it's a story. He has a lot in common with Roy Orbison and with Johnny Horton, that they told stories in their songs. And like you were saying, Chris, you can visualize it as it's playing out. The other thing, too, is both he and Roy Orbison tended to sort of discard the traditional songwriting. There's no verse, chorus. It's just a story. It starts and it runs through to the end. And it also has the distinction of being the first Billboard number 1 to run 4 minutes or longer. And that's my top 5.
Nice.
All right. Very good. By the way, good morning, Candy. Wait a minute. Let me turn that on.
Good morning, Candy.
Good morning, Candy.
Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Candy.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Go Orioles.
Good night, Grandpa.
No. Where's the Orioles stand? Where's the Yankees stand? Hey.
Don't bring that up, Jason.
Go away.
Hey.
I
Best team
decided
money can buy.
I decided to wear my WRGG hat today instead of my oil hat today. So, all right, here's my top 5. Here we go. Number 1 is the 1980 Olympic hockey team. Oh wait, that was from a few weeks back. I didn't get to use that one, so I wanted to use that one as best I can. Lisa Parsons says, "Good morning, Candy."
Good morning, Elisa.
Yeah, so here's my number 5, Jailhouse Rock from Elvis, 1957. That was one of the first songs I remember because I saw it in the movie. And I thought it was, they're dancing with chairs. But I like that one. Number 4, Mac the Knife from Bobby Darin.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why I like that song. I just
It's
do.
actually based on the Three Penny Opera.
Yes, a Three-Penny Opera
Almost-
from Germany.
almost
Yes.
made my list.
Yeah, 1959 was the year. 1958 was my number 3. Well, not the year, but Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry. He wrote the song, and again, he don't put the song sheet too far away. I'm going to write another song using this. But
He actually stole it from Marty McFly, though.
Yeah, I know. Got to listen to this. Number 2.
It wasn't stolen; it was borrowed.
That's right.
Well, that's what Chuck Berry said.
Never
When
stolen.
all that talk about everybody was stealing this, stealing
Yeah.
that. He goes, nobody stole anything. We all just borrowed from
it.
each other.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, number 1 was not mentioned, and I'll explain number 1 more. But number 2, always like this one. The oh man, I wrote down and I can't read my writing. The Spaniards. Good Night, Sweetheart, 1951.
Yeah.
Good night,
Oh, yeah.
sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. And number one, I got in trouble because I did not put this on my list of my top 10 favorite songs that we're doing on Tuesday, but it has been officially declared by my wife to be our song. Ooh, so I have to add it to this list. Only You from
My Ding-a-ling?
Hey, that came out in 71.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't count. Yes.
And sadly, Chuck Berry's only number 1 song.
Yes, My Ding-a-ling. Only You by the Platters, 1955, written by the Platters manager. It's been done by everybody. We're probably more apt to go along with the Travis Tritt edition of it, though Ringo Starr made it a hit as well. As we speak, so that's my top 5 right there. We didn't duplicate too much with that one.
That's good.
No, Jason, you want to do some of your honorable?
Yeah, honorable mentions. I did have Roll Over Beethoven, and I had a Tutti Frutti, but I also had, and this was hard not to put on the list, but I had Everly Brothers, All I Have to Do Is Dream.
Yeah, I have that one as an honorable mention.
Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley and his Comets. Earth Angel by the Penguins.
Yes, I have that on my list too. Yeah.
Why Must I Be a
Not my
Teenager
favorite
in
Batman
Love?
villain, but
Yes. Why Must I Be a Teenager in Love by Dion and the Belmonts. And Dream Lover by Bobby Darin. Interesting thing about Bobby Darin. Do you know the interesting fact about him and his mom?
No.
Chris? If I remember correctly, I'm almost positive, like 95% is Bobby Darin, because it was I think it's because he sang Mac the Knife. He was actually raised by
monkeys,
his grandparents.
Oh.
yes.
No, his sister was actually his mom, but he didn't find out until late in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the time it was unmoved for someone that young. It was someone that young to have a baby. So when he was raised, they told him that the girl that was his mom was actually his sister, and he didn't find out until late.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're not even from West Virginia.
So, is that all your honorable mentions?
That's all my honorable mentions. Oh, and I did want to tell you, because I know you said you were sad that you didn't get to play Only You. Since I kind of got us off this whole Bigfoot on Tuesdays thing and started new things, I decided after we're done with all these top 5, or after our top 10 songs, twice a month, we're just going to do a share a song.
Yeah.
Like the first and third Tuesday of each month. We're just going to share a song just like we're doing the top 10, but they don't have to be a top 10. It's just a song that you want to nostalgia.
Think of it in terms of like your honorable mentions went from your top. That's how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
The ones that didn't make the list. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty soon, Jason will have his own show.
It'll be music.
I do like, by the way, he didn't say yesterday we discussed. He goes, I decided.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday we discussed one day a week. We discussed it one day a month, and I thought about it. I'm like, that means I got to come up with stuff to do for the other 3 Tuesdays a month. And I'm like, no, let's do it twice a month. Do it like every other. I think because I know we all really enjoy this format of sharing our songs on Tuesdays.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm all for that.
And our listeners.
This doesn't really concern you, Greg, because you're probably not going to be here anyway. But just so you know.
Okay. Well, now I feel much better.
We're not
about
talking about Mondays, Jason. We're talking about Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays. I'm here
Give it
Tuesdays. Most Tuesdays. So, Chris, where's your honorable mentions?
I'm just going to say that you could count about a dozen Chuck Berry songs, a dozen Little Richard songs, a dozen Buddy Holly songs, Larry Williams. Those are all favorites of mine. And I didn't mention Elvis. I'm surprised there's only one Elvis mentioned in your list.
Yeah,
Greg. Everybody else. We could have picked a couple of Elvis songs easily. But the whole genre, I really grew fond of. Not so much pop music in the 50s, but the rock and roll stuff. Just I love it.
Yep. So you say everything else. Okay.
Yeah, everything else. Easy. I know that really narrows it down.
It does. It does.
Well, if you really want to listen to my favorite 50s music, tune into like the first 10 minutes of This Week in Rock and Roll History every week, and you'll catch everything.
Okay. There it is. Fair enough.
Wow. Shameless plug.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Shameless plug.
I love it.
Bill, what's your honorable mention?
Let's see. My honorable mentions starting off with Johnny O'Keefe and Wild One, Real Wild Child, which was covered by Iggy Pop back in '86, but Johnny O'Keefe was the original. Came up with that one in 1958, and it was actually considered the first big rock and roll hit to come out of Australia. My next honorable mention, Rock Around the Clock from '54 with Bill Haley and his Comets. You have to have that on your list. Why Baby Why by George Jones from '55, and also written by George Jones. And a great song, been covered so many times, but I do prefer the original. Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran from 1958.
I had that on my honorable mention.
Which he wrote with his manager, Jerry Capehart. Great song. And then I've got Hank Williams from '51 with I Heard That Lonesome Whistle, which was a huge inspiration for Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues. Similar story, guy sitting in prison hearing that train whistle. Think about all the things he did wrong in life that got him into jail.
Okay. Well, Jason mentioned two of mine, Earth Angel by the Penguins, All You Have to Do is Dream by the Everly Brothers. And then I had Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues from 1953. Buddy Holly, Peggy Sue, 1957. Beautiful song by Sam Cooke, You Send Me, 1957 as well. And an honorable mention one because it's just one of those iconic songs of all time. Came from 1958 to the everlasting Isley Brothers, who seem to be around forever.
Oh, my goodness,
yes, and Shout, of course. Originally, I thought it was Otis Day and the Knights that did that one, but it wasn't. It was, a lot of people did Shout, but the Isley Brothers made it the big hit. So there it is.
By the way, if you want to know more about Chris Palladino's favorite songs from the 1950s, just listen to the first 10 minutes of This Week in Rock and Roll History.
Yeah, This Week in Rock and Roll, right here on WRGG.
I appreciate the shameless plug, guys.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Welcome.
And then when you ask him when his next gig is, he has no idea.
I got This Week in Rock and Roll History is 7 weeks in the future. I'm already way ahead of it.
Yeah, so he knows. Nice. He knows.
Something I found interesting with today's list, guys, and it was kind of very cool, is we all had a Buddy Holly song, but different Buddy Holly song.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, that's testament to how good of a songwriter he was.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. All right.
And
so
he had someone we didn't mention. So go ahead.
Next Wednesday. What's the next Wednesday?
I mean, if you guys are up for it, I say we do top 5 60s songs.
Okay. Well, while we're going this way, we might as well, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'll let you guess the next week, Greg. The 80s.
Yes.
Folja.
Yeah. I can't wait till we start doing, for Chris's sake, our top country songs. That should be good.
Oh, Chris can come up with a few.
Well, just
I could probably come up with 5.
5. If you don't make it the top 10, I'm good. I'm good. Because you didn't come up with 10 today. You just said, and everything else that was made.
Everything else.
So, all right, guys, very good. I appreciate your cooperation here. And as I said, Jason, it was great to see you guys on Sunday. Had a good time.
Had a blast.
We ate a lot.
We ate at a place that's family style. We sat at a really big table with people we didn't know, and really kind of good food. Different Southern, it's a national staples called Morels.
Yes. And you know where we went the next day for breakfast, Jason?
Carrie showed me or told me that we got sent a picture. You went to another big staple in Nashville. It's for breakfast called the Pancake Pantry.
Yes. They
Did
serve
you like
pancakes. Oh yeah, I mean it was pancakes. I had chocolate chip pancakes and with cinnamon syrup. That was really good. So there.
By the way,
no, there was. Oh, that's right. I forgot to do that. Forgot that.
You put your syrup in.
Forgot that one. By the way, Lisa Parsons says, Charlie Parsons says, do a moment of silence that lasts an hour, 2 Tuesdays a month. And Lisa says she prefers.
When is Charlie going to appear on a radio show?
He's too busy polishing his dime.
Yeah.
I was going to say, as soon as he has anything interesting to talk about. Oh, wait, that'll be never.
Two can play this game.
By the way, I know why that Platter song is, Ronnie considers it their song. She's constantly saying, only you, Greg, only you.
Only you would do that.
Well, that might have something to do with it. Possibility there. So, all right, my friends, we're going to go to the bottom of the hour. Coming up at the bottom of the hour. Well, we'll talk to you, Jason, you on Friday. Chris, we'll talk to you probably next Tuesday again, all right?
Okay.
All right.
See you then.
All right, see you there.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour. First look at local sports with John Freeman coming up. And, of course, the local news with Scott Douglas as well. NBC kicks it off, PA Radio News, and then the weather at the end from Jim Vaughn. See what kind of day it's going to be. And Candy Mound is coming up next right here, 93.7 WRGG.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Serving Greencastle, Antrim, and southern Franklin County. This is WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Public viewing for the late Pope Francis starts today at St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. There, the faithful can pay their respects to the Pope, who died Monday at the age of 88. The Vatican announced that his funeral will be held Saturday before he's taken to the Basilica of St. Mary Major for entombment. President Trump says undocumented immigrants should be deported without trials. Trump spoke to reporters in the Oval Office on Tuesday and claimed that countries like Venezuela and the Congo had emptied their prisons into the U.S. Lori Vallow Daybell has been found guilty in her murder conspiracy trial in Phoenix. More from Mark Mayfield.
The so-called Doomsday Mom conspired to kill her fourth husband in 2019 with the help of her brother. Vallow Daybell was already convicted in Idaho in 2023 of murdering her 2 young children and conspiring to murder husband Chad Daybell's first wife.
Before the opening bell, Dow futures are rallying 600 points. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
A leaking roof can cause major property damage, compromising the structure and ruining the building's contents. Harold Robinson Affordable Roofing can solve that problem with a professionally installed new roof. Harold Robinson has many years of experience installing roofs in our local communities. You may call 717-369-2938 for an appointment. Harold will meet with you and answer your questions, help you select the type of material you prefer, and give a free estimate to complete the project. Harold Robinson Affordable Roofing of Fort Loudon, 717-369-2938.
This is a Radio PA News Update. Governor Josh Shapiro hosted Pennsylvania's annual Easter egg hunt Tuesday, the first public event at the governor's residence since a man tried to set it on fire while Shapiro and his family were inside. Despite ongoing cleanup, the backyard welcomed preschoolers, a baby goat petting zoo, and hundreds of candy-filled eggs. Shapiro, moved by the joy of the children, called for increased state funding for childcare and bonuses for workers, saying to see the smiles on these kids' faces just brings such joy after obviously a really emotional week. Pittsburgh's industrial market softened in the first quarter of 2025. The vacancy rate edged up to 6.5% and net absorption turned negative with over 387,000 square feet vacated. Netflix exit from a major facility played a key role, but new leases by LeGrand Lighthouse Electric and Highmark offer signs of life. Mitsubishi's $86 million Beaver County plant and new data center proposals suggest longer-term optimism. Still, trade uncertainty is making developers cautious. As JLL's Rick O'Brien notes, the market has demand, but speculation is risky amid fluctuating material costs and global instability. Over 300 Pickup Pennsylvania events are planned statewide for Earth Week. Last year, 77,000 volunteers removed more than 3 million pounds of trash and planted thousands of trees and flowers. Earlier this year, Governor Josh Shapiro's administration announced over $15 million to protect waterways, reclaim mine sites, and plug abandoned wells. Finally, Shady Maple, the iconic East Earl Smorgasbord, is celebrating its 40th anniversary. Unfortunately, it closed on Tuesday evening due to a water main break. The closure was announced on Facebook around 5 p.m., with management assuring guests the buffet would reopen at 7 a.m. on Wednesday. In a follow-up post, they thanked customers for their patience. Shady Maple has grown into Pennsylvania's largest farmers market and nation's largest buffet. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Right here in hometown Greencastle, you'll find a great one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat and delicious home-style deli items. Branded Meats and Deli, 102 South Ansel Way, features certified Angus beef, and they will cut steaks to your liking. Branded offers daily smoked meat specials. Their subs are made to your request. Always fresh, homemade salads, including macaroni, potato, cream slaw, and others. Looking for something for yourself for lunch or everything for that evening meal? You'll find it at Branded Meats, South Ansel Way, Greencastle. Open Mondays 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., Tuesday through Friday 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., Saturdays 8 till 4. Branded Meats, supporting community radio, WRGG.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. If you like food, I've got a deal for you, and you can help one of the schools out here locally. Get to that in a minute. First, damage cleanup in Franklin County moving forward. Meanwhile, damage assessment by Greencastle Emergency Management is complete, and word is that the total damage to residents and buildings in the borough could reach around $250,000. The worst damage to borough property was at Jerome King Playground, where a pavilion was destroyed. I'm sure you've seen the pictures by now, along with some of the aluminum bleachers, and those are going to be costly to replace. Word from Franklin County 911 is that overnight Saturday into Sunday, well over 500 911 calls were made, while in Washington County, the 911 center there received well over 1,500 calls during the same time period. In Waynesboro, Burnt Hill Cemetery suffered significant damage during the storm. Published reports say it could cost up to $12,000 for repairs. That's money that the nonprofit cemetery doesn't have, and a spokeswoman told ABC 21 that if they cannot come up with the money, they may have to turn the cemetery over to the borough. There is some good news in Greencastle. The new Dollar General store is open. You may have been there already. That's on Antrim Way, and they're planning a grand opening. That's coming up April 26th. Be looking for that. In West Virginia, sad news, the National Conservation Training Center, NCTC, in Shepherdstown reports that the 22-year-old bald eagle's nest on the campus there was knocked down in the storm. The 3 4-week-old eaglets did not survive the 90-foot fall. So if you like food, and who doesn't, you can get some good grub and help out the Greencastle Antrim Primary Elementary PTO. They've got a fundraiser going on today at Chipotle on Garland Grove Boulevard, Hagerstown, from 5 till 9. The store will donate 25% of total sales to the PTO. Eat up. Oh, and by the way, officially Earth Day was yesterday, but this Saturday there's going to be a celebration, an Earth Day celebration at Pine Hill Recreation Center, Menser Gap Road. It's a fundraiser put on by the Buttonwood Nature Center. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
Do you have an aging loved one who needs a little or perhaps a lot of help in order to stay independently in their home? Heritage In-Home Care Services of Greencastle can provide the help you need at affordable rates. Heritage can provide assistance to medical appointments, personal assistance, or medication reminders. Help can be provided for grocery shopping, light housekeeping, and meal planning. If you're looking for companionship for your aging loved one when other responsibilities require your time, Heritage In-Home Care can provide that. They have been serving Greencastle and surrounding communities since 2006. Personalized attention is provided for your aging loved one's specific needs, giving you peace of mind, knowing that they can stay in their home with all the care they need. Heritage In-Home Care Services of Greencastle. You may obtain more information by calling 717-593-0242.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
The Blue Devil track and field team split their dual meet with Shippensburg on Tuesday. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House. 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. The Blue Devil girls picked up their third dual meet victory of the season as they defeated Shippensburg by a score of 76-74 in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division dual meet. Jalen Schmuck was victorious in both the long jump and triple jump, while Nike Ellenberger picked up wins in the 1,600 and 3,200 meter runs. Both athletes participated on victorious relay teams for Greencastle. Unfortunately, the Blue Devil boys came up short as they were defeated by Shippensburg 79-71 yesterday. Greencastle's Spencer Long was the only double winner for the Blue Devils, as he earned a first-place finish in both the 100 and 200 meter dashes. The loss drops the Blue Devil boys track and field team to 2-2 on the season, 2-2 also in the Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division. The Blue Devil softball team is back home this afternoon as they look for their second win of the week. They will be hosting Boiling Springs in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup. First pitch for that game is scheduled for 4:15 this afternoon, and the game will be broadcast live on 93.7 FM WRGG and streaming at midpennbroadcasting.com. Greg Hoover brings you all the action, beginning with the pregame show around 4 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Blue Devil baseball team is also back in action later today as they hit the road for their second game of the week. Head coach Eric Shaner and the Blue Devil baseball team will be looking to snap a two-game losing streak as they take on Boiling Springs. First pitch for that Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup is set for 4:30. That's a look at sports for a Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
Join Pastor David Raleigh for humorous and insightful inspiration to biblical truths at 9:25 a.m. and 5:25 p.m. Monday through Friday. These moments of reflection are brought to you by the congregation of Otterbein United Brethren Church in Greencastle on WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have partly to mostly sunny skies, high around 75. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 53. Thursday, mostly sunny, high around 79. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low around 55. And Friday, partly sunny skies with a chance of afternoon showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim Vaughn. It is currently 53 degrees, sun shining brightly in downtown Greencastle. Humidity at 79%. Record high for today, it is 92 degrees. Set back in 1960 for this day. Second day of 4 that 92 reaches the high mark. 23 degrees in 1936, the record low. The normal temperatures, 42 to 66. We're right smack dab in the middle of that. 6:21 in the a.m. when the sun came up. It'll set tonight almost at 7:57 p.m., 13 hours, 36 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is at 53 degrees at 93.7 WRGG, on the web at WRGG.org. I'm Greg Hoover, along with Bill Gore, as we always do here on a Wednesday. And with us is, of course, Candy Mount. Candy is frequently comes to our location to talk about various things, such as Major League Baseball, and you're in a pretty good situation right now, I guess I would have to say. Well, here's Don Ames coming into the what? Gee whiz, it's like an open door here.
Oh my, yeah.
You don't lock it.
Anybody
This is what happens. So.
I don't want people walking in. Lock the door.
Okay, well, I got to start doing that, I guess. So, Candy's here to talk about that, and also,
is Don here to talk about his 5 favorite songs from the 1950s?
I don't know what Don's. I have no idea why Don's here, to be honest with you. So, wait a minute. Do you know Don why you're here?
Well, I do, but what about this 5 favorite songs?
Oh, we just did our 5 favorite songs from the 1950s. Don't get hurt there. So.
Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
The cord is under the stool.
Oh, that's what happens. That'll do that every now and then. So, but Candy, I got to tell you, Yankees looking pretty good right now. The Orioles can't find a pitcher if they had to. So,
well, we've had that for years too. But
yeah.
But I'm happy.
I figured you might be.
Yep.
Now, it is early. It is early in the
It
season, as we say. Early in the season, a long way to go. We went to Baltimore to see the Guardians were in town when we went down to see on Jackie Robinson Day, but it was a little too cold for baseball, particularly with Rhonda. I knew when she said, I'm going to go up in and look in the store and see if they have a sweatshirt. I said, oh, okay. Now, sweatshirts, if you buy an Oriole sweatshirt at Walmart, it's not that bad. You buy one at Baltimore, it is that bad. I said, are you that cold? She goes, I am. I said, okay, we can go home. So by that, it was the Orioles weren't hitting the ball at that stage of the game. Not that they have been hitting the ball, but so that being said, let me think here. Well, here's what we're going to do. We are going to... I know Candy's here to talk about golf, and we're going to do that in the 8 o'clock hour. Don, you have notes, so is there something that you... I mean, who brings notes and just walks in?
Because I can't remember all this stuff.
Okay.
I was thinking about coming by, and I thought about, well, what could I talk about? You remember I wrote a book a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
And this isn't in the book, but I thought it was an amazing story about 3 lawyers whose lives come together in one moment of poetic justice.
Oh, okay.
Now, there was a German officer named Fabian von Schlabrendorf.
He had a song out later on.
Yes,
it's one of the top 50 songs.
Yes,
I think he was in North to Alaska.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
But he was, actually.
Yes, he was. In March 1943, he was a conspirator against Hitler.
Oh, okay.
And in March 1943, he snuck a time bomb onto Hitler's plane, but it failed to go off.
Ah.
Somehow he managed to retrieve the bomb.
Really?
And was not found out. But after the July 20th assassination attempt on Hitler, he was one of the people rounded up.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the one where von Stauffenberg put the bomb in the bunker.
That is right.
That didn't work either. Well, it
went off. The
but...
problem was that they moved the briefcase.
Yeah.
And it was a very thick
stanchion
table.
on
Yeah. Yeah, and actually the table actually bore the brunt of the explosion.
Okay.
Good furniture. Saved,
Exactly.
saved Hitler's life.
Must have been that Amish.
Nathan Allen. Or Ethan Allen. Ethan Allen, yeah.
So, von Schlabrendorf
Yeah.
was arrested. He's set for trial on February 3rd, 1945. He's been tortured. He's refused to talk. So they take him to the Central German Court, where a guy named Roland Friesler is the head judge. He basically runs show trials for German dissidents.
Oh, okay.
So that they can be executed.
Right, yeah.
So that day, an American flight of B-17s, large formation, attacks Berlin.
Uh-huh.
A bomb hits the courthouse, and Friesler is crushed by a column, holding von Schlabrendorf's file in his hand.
Oh.
Von Schlabrendorf, of course, isn't tried that day, and they re-imprison him. They try him again the next month, March 1945. It's very near the end of the war. He defends himself in court and is acquitted.
Oh.
And he goes on after the war to become a judge in, I think, Germany's equivalent of the Supreme Court.
Okay.
So the kicker here is who led the raid. It was a lieutenant colonel, a Jewish American lieutenant colonel named Robert Rosenthal, and this guy flew 52 missions, far more than he was required.
Yeah.
And on this last mission, he is shot down, not for the first time, but for the second time, and lands in a Soviet-controlled zone, so he escapes being imprisoned.
Right. Yeah.
So he goes on to be a prosecutor at the help on the prosecutorial staff at the Nuremberg trials.
Oh, okay.
So Friesler, gets the death he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
And these two guys go on to have distinguished careers after the war. Schlabrendorf and
an amazing coincidence that happened. Usually it didn't happen that way.
No.
So, yeah. Now that's, you've been writing about interesting stories such as that. That was your last book, I believe it was.
And only, as far as I know.
Only book. Okay, so is that book still for sale?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'll plug it.
Okay. Well, we do shameless plugs here.
Yeah, well,
we do that all the time. So
strange and obscure stories of World War II.
There you go. And that's one of them. It's not in the book.
Not in
the book. But
I
it
wish
could be
I
in the
put
book.
it in the book.
Okay.
I just think the confluence of
those three
men coming together for one moment.
Oh, absolutely.
And the right one dying.
And the right one died. That doesn't happen very often in life, in the movies.
Do you have any favorite anecdotes from your book?
The unfortunately named, well, there's Uncle Fester from the 1960s TV show,
yes.
The Addams Family.
Yeah.
He led an amazing life. His many things. He was a child star in Hollywood. Indeed. He narrowly avoided a death in an accident that killed his father and 3 other people. He sued his mother, resulting in a California law called the Coogan Act because she'd stolen all his money.
Right.
He was Betty Grable's first husband.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
During imagine that for his looks.
Yeah.
And during World War II, he was a glider pilot, a combat glider pilot in the China-Burma-India theater.
Wow.
Which was not an easy job because basically those things just kind of crash landed in open fields when you were lucky.
Yeah.
So the other would be Captain Lieutenant Karl Adolf, pronounce the last name carefully, Schlitt.
Oh.
Who was a submarine captain. And I think it was the first mission of his submarine. He forgot how to operate the toilet while it was submerged. And the result was seawater getting into the submarine, causing the batteries to leak chlorine gas, causing the submarine to have to make an emergency ascent. And then, of course, there happened to be some, I think it was British planes patrolling around at the time, who then sunk the submarine.
Oh.
Only 4 people of the crew of 40-some, almost 50 people, only 4 of them died.
Yeah.
And Karl Adolf Schlitt lived to be 96.
Yep.
So
wow.
Was he lucky or unlucky?
Unlucky, yeah. Well, if you don't know how to flush a commode, I would say that's unlucky. That would be
the instructions for flushing even an American commode in a submarine are like, here's step A.
Yeah.
Here is step Z.
Right.
It is not an easy thing to do, and the German subs were different because they discharged waste directly into the sea.
I have a grandson that has trouble flushing the commode. And there's
just one switch on that.
It's not that many instructions, so I guess I could see how that would affect it. So, Don Ames, a surprise visit here from Don Ames coming up.
I threatened to do it last year.
Well, yes, I know you have been for a whole year. Candy Mound, we'll talk a little bit. We've talked about golf already. She's been out I would imagine you've been golfing every day now. This weather turns like this, so
I try to get out 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
a week. I
yeah.
mean, I play in the league and then
Yeah.
a couple other times.
got to be a nice day. Your golf tournament.
Wait, 3 or 4 times a week? Are you cutting back?
Yes, I am. It used to be 5 or 6.
Yeah,
but
well,
yeah.
it's like old age will do that.
No.
you and Jim Wharton are the ones out there when there's snow on the ground.
Yeah,
Oh, I see Jim out there.
Oh, I
yeah.
know.
Yep.
I'm sure he still golfs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's
Golfs, plays tennis. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Helps out at the food pantry.
we'll be talking about your golf tournament coming up here. It's in May, right?
May 10th.
Yeah, May 10th. And good news about that. We'll do that after the break at the top of the hour because that's what we do. And it's Classmates for a Cause golf tournament. We'll talk about that a little bit. We gotta jump to this right now. Not that we have to, but people get upset when we don't. So
Birthday club, the birthday
We have
club.
to jump to
Everybody
Jason Gabler.
celebrates birthday
Nice little
club
song,
on
isn't it?
WRGG.
It's our most popular song on the radio here at WRGG.
1564 saw the birth of William Shakespeare, English playwright, poet, and actor. His known works include 39 plays, 154 songs, and 3 long narrative poems. His plays covered comedies, histories, and tragedies, include Julius Caesar, Hamlet, and Much Ado About Nothing. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language. James Buchanan, born this day in 1791, American attorney.
Jimmy
statesman.
Buck.
That's
Yeah,
right, Jimmy Buck.
our own boy.
Yeah.
Yes, and politician, served as 15th President of the United States. He also served as Secretary of State, Minister to Russia, and Minister to the United Kingdom, and represented Pennsylvania in both houses of the Congress. He was the first president of Pennsylvania and the only bachelor president. Shirley Temple Black, born this day in 1928, American actor, singer, dancer, and diplomat, was Hollywood's #1 box office draw as a child actress from 1934 to 1938. Later, she was named United States Ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia and served as chief of protocol. Her films include The Little Colonel, The Littlest Rebel, Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, and Heidi. Roy Orbison, born this day in 1936, American singer, songwriter, guitarist. He wrote or co-wrote almost all his own top 10 hits, including Only the Lonely, Running Scared, Crying in Dreams, and Oh Pretty Woman. In 1988, he co-founded the Traveling Wilburys with George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, and Jeff Lynne. Orbison was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. David Burney, born this day in 1939, American actor and director. His career included performances in theater, film, and television. His TV series include St. Elsewhere, Bridget Loves Bernie, and Serpico. He began acting while in the U.S. Army. Lee Majors, born this day in 1940, is Harvey Lee Yerry II. American actor, portrayed the characters of Heath Barkley on The Big Valley, Colonel Steve Austin on The $6 Million Man, and he was Colt Seavers on The Fall Guy. He also sang the theme song. His film.
Hey, what? In what?
The Fall Guy. Yeah, that's him.
Did he really?
singing the theme
I
song.
did not know that.
His films include The Norseman, Clambake, and Will Penny. Majors and his then wife, Farrah Fawcett Majors, with inspiration for the song Midnight Train to Georgia, was written by his friend Jim Weatherly. Sandra Dee, born on this day in 1942, is Alexandra Zuck. American actress, began her career as a child model. Her films include Gidget, Imitation of Life, A Summer Place, and Until They Sail, for which she received the Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year. Hervé Villechaize, born on this day in 1943, French actor best known for his roles as the evil henchman Nick Nack in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun, and as Mr. Work's assistant Tattoo on Fantasy Island. At 18, he became the youngest artist ever to have his work displayed in the Museum of Paris. Joyce DeWitt, born on this day in 1949, American actress, played Janet Wood in the sitcom Three's Company. She earned her bachelor's degree in theater from Ball State University and her Master of Fine Arts from UCLA. Jan Hooks, born on this day in 1957, American actress and comedian, best known for her tenure on Saturday Night Live from 1986 to 1991. Her other TV work includes Designing Women, Third Rock from the Sun, 30 Rock, and The Simpsons. Hooks' films include Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Batman Returns, and Coneheads. Valerie Bertinelli, born on this day in 1960.
Wow. Yes. Some classics there.
Yes. I'll take out the reference to Coneheads. Valerie Bertinelli, born on this day in 1960, American actress and television personality. Her TV work includes One Day at a Time, for which she won 2 Golden Globe Awards, Touched by an Angel, and Hot in Cleveland. Bertinelli has hosted several programs for Food Network, including Valerie's Home Cooking and Kids Baking Championship. In 1961 saw the birth of George Lopez, American stand-up comedian actor, best known for the sitcom George Lopez, of which he was the co-creator, writer, producer, and star. It was Sandra Bullock who suggested that Lopez produce and star in a sitcom.
He had a big head. He has a big head.
George Lopez?
Yeah, that's what my kids said, and
That
that's
is
why they
true.
would call me George Lopez.
Oh.
Because they thought I had a big head. I told them you got that many brains in there. You got to have a bigger head.
Yes, to hold all that.
That brain
yeah.
power.
I'm pretty sure on this that he divorced his wife after she donated a kidney.
Really?
I believe that's the case.
That's not nice at
That
all.
might be right, yeah.
This is a distinguished list with the exception of James Buchanan.
Yes. Who, as we mentioned earlier, had an incredible resume up until he became president.
Too much resume.
Yeah,
You can
yes.
say that about a lot of people.
Yes,
if
indeed.
They say, boy, they're just shifting him from job to job.
I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
People said that about me.
But Greg,
And
of course,
here I am.
As Mike Ross said, you're better at this than you've ever been at anything.
He did say that.
Yeah. Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
Yeah, I do. Oh, here we go. Diane Stoudemire Groover's having a birthday today. That is your niece, right, Bill?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Sherilyn Cerruti, I think is King, and King is the last name. Sherilyn King having a birthday. Kim Palmer as well, and Angie Sparkman having a birthday today. Now, tomorrow we got a long, long list of birthdays for tomorrow, but that's our fourth for today. Angie, Kim, Sherilyn, and Diana. You see any of those, tell them where you heard it. You heard it, right? Tell them happy birthday. Tell them you heard it on the morning show. And they're going to say, well, I didn't even know I was on that. How can I get other people on that? And you're going to say to them, send your information to, just go to the webpage, WRGG.org, fill out the information there, and it will work really, really quick. It'll work out very well. So that is the birthday club. We'll do it again before the 9 o'clock news coming up in just a few minutes. 8 o'clock news in just a few minutes. Hour before we do the birthday club again before the 9 o'clock news. It's been a rough day. So let's see here. Baseball or softball on the air tonight, starting at, if we find a board up, starting at 4 o'clock. Girls take on Northern, or excuse me, they take on the Bowling Springs Bubblers, who just beaten Northern, and so that should make it an interesting game coming up today. Girls undefeated in the league, only lost one so far, so things looking good. We'll see how today goes for them, and you can catch all the action right here, 93.7 WRGG. With that being said, we're going to head up to the top of the hour.
93.7.
That's not what I wanted to hit. Not at all. I don't know. Get off of your feet. Where'd that even come from? Hold on. We'll get there. It's time for the news.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
WRGG LP. Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. One of the most massive wildfires in the history of Ocean County, New Jersey, has burned more than 8,500 acres and forced thousands to evacuate. The Jones Road forest fire was first spotted yesterday morning in the Greenwood Forest Wildlife Management Area.
Hoping, praying, that it just stays away. But, I'm sure there's other people that are going to lose stuff.
The fires are unpredictable, and when you have large animals, it makes it really scary.
The flames are threatening more than 1,300 structures and have caused scores of power outages. The funeral of Pope Francis will be attended by several world leaders. The guest list includes President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, the UK's Prince William, the British Prime Minister, German Chancellor, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. The Pope died Monday after suffering a stroke at the age of 88. David Ushery at the Vatican this morning as pilgrims remember the late pontiff.
At the setting of the Roman sun, the collective cadence of faith and prayer could be heard in St. Peter's Square. They prayed for the improved health of Francis here in much the same way, now praying for his rest in peace. Earlier, the body of Francis displayed for the first time. For now, the ritual gatekeeper is the Irish-American Cardinal Kevin Farrell, once a bishop in Dallas. Vatican employees who worked in Casa Santa Marta, where Francis lived, lining up to bid farewell.
Tesla says its first quarter financial numbers missed expectations, with automotive revenue dropping 20%. Overall profits fell 71% in the first 3 months of the year. And President Trump will speak to graduates at the University of Alabama and West Point next month. In a true social post late Monday night, the president said he's agreed to do the commencement addresses at the two schools. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
There was a time when every small town had several local family-owned auto dealerships. Greencastle still has one. Antrim Way Honda, 200 South Antrim Way, just off exit 3 of I-81. Home to a large selection of pre-owned vehicles. Something for every budget. All pre-owned vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection. When you drive away, you'll know your ride is safe and dependable. You may check out their inventory online at antrimhonda.com. And while your vehicle is being professionally serviced, you can relax with some great refreshments in the cafe at Antrim Way. Antrim Way Honda, a much appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG.
Franklin Hospice, a nonprofit provider of hospice care and end-of-life services, has been licensed in Pennsylvania and is now open to serve patients and their families. This organization also operates Hospice of Washington County, which has built a trusted reputation of quality caring for over 40 years. The team at Franklin Hospice consists of nurses, social workers, CNAs, chaplains, volunteers, and bereavement staff. They will work with the hospice physician and the patient's primary physician to offer a number of services, including managing the patient's pain and symptoms, assisting the patient with the emotional, psychological, and spiritual effects of dying, providing needed medications, supplies, and equipment, coaching the family and caregivers how to care for the patient, and providing bereavement care and counseling to surviving family and friends. Franklin Hospice is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide support. For more information, call 717-504-3465 or visit franklinhospice.org, a nonprofit organization.
Oh, the birds are chirping, days are warming, and more daylight each day. Yes, it's the perfect time to stock up on all your spring planting needs. Lumber Direct has onion sets and a wide variety of vegetable packets. Everything to ensure a bountiful, beautiful garden. Lumber Direct has mulch, bagged and bulk. There's everything you'll need for spring cleanup in the home and out in the yard. There's a great array of quality Vaspar paints, perfect for any job, indoor or outside. Lumber Direct, 10 East Walter Avenue in Greencastle. Lumber Direct, a proud sponsor of WRGG and many other Greencastle Antrim community projects.
Set the dial on the Wayback Machine. Crank up your radio. It's rock and roll in the rear view mirror as we take a look back at this week in rock and roll history.
This week in rock and roll history, 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon and again at midnight on 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have partly to mostly sunny skies, high around 75. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 53. Thursday, mostly sunny, high around 79. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low around 55. And Friday, partly sunny skies with a chance of afternoon showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently 54 degrees, sun shining brightly in downtown Greencastle. Humidity is at 74%, dropping rapidly. 92 degrees, the record high today in 1960. It was 23 degrees in 1936 for the record low. Average temps for today between 42 and 66 degrees. We're right there. 6:21's when the sun came up. It'll set tonight, 7:57 the p.m. That'll give us 13 hours and 36 minutes of daylight. Again, 54 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
And now, The Morning Show on 93.7 WRGG. And on the web at WRGG.org.
Welcome back. It is hour number 3 of The Morning Show. It's a Wednesday morning. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us here as I'm Greg Hooper. He's Bill Gore, as always. It seems to be the case. Well, at least Bill Gore, as always. I mean, I'm here most of the time. Majority of the time, we're going to say.
Absolutely.
Yes. Candy Mound joins us today. We're going to talk a little golf. Don Ames, a surprise visitor, just dropped off the streets, riding by and said, hey, there's a radio station. I think I'm going to go in and relive my past. I think that's how you do that, yeah.
Rose-colored glasses.
Yes, that's how it is. Yes. But we're here with Candy Mound. We're talking golf and classmate for a cause golf tournament. It's happening May 10th. And, well, your big news, Candy, is...
It's sold out.
It's sold out. There it is. I wanted you to say it, not me.
Okay. Yep, it's sold out.
Sold out. That's pretty remarkable again. But you've been
I like that moment where the tension built.
Oh, it did build.
Yeah.
It did build. I thought she fell asleep on me there for a minute. There, so wake up.
I also liked when Don walked in and asked, "Which one of the Verstandig shows is this?"
Is this WAYZ? No, it's not. It's no way. It'd be 92.1. That's the one that does a little talk now and then. So, but all sold out. How many is that all together? Then what's that mean number wise?
Well, we did extend it this year a little bit, the foursomes, just because of the overwhelming,
response
and I still
to it,
and I still even have a waiting list. So we have 36 foursomes. So
Wow.
that's double on each hole.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So in other words, you could start in the middle of a hole. Well, no, not really, but you have to wait to the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. You have an
You
A
can-
and a B.
You don't
forever.
sit out in the middle of the
No.
while the other foursome hits. So
No,
no, that would
no,
not. That wouldn't
you
be
have
good.
to-
That wouldn't be good.
No.
Wouldn't be. So now, how's your sponsorship doing?
Good.
Okay.
Good. We're doing really good this year. A lot of sponsors have, went above and beyond.
Yeah.
Like Hidden Key.
Mm-hmm.
They are choosing each month what they call Hidden Key Kindness Night, and they pick a charity and they give percentage of their proceeds for that
Right.
night to that. And we were lucky enough and fortunate enough to get their first one.
Oh, okay.
So it's this Friday at Hidden Key from 4 to 10, and then
okay.
Portions of the proceeds goes to our Classmates for a Cause.
Yeah.
So we're very thankful for that.
Yeah,
So-
that'll be great. So if you can't golf and you want to help out with this tournament, and we'll discuss the cause here in a minute, but Hidden Key's the place to go this Friday. So speaking of the cause, now this is year number
7.
7, and each year you've had a cause, and this year the cause is
Suicide prevention.
okay. And all money stays here in locally that you raised, and you've raised some incredible amounts of money in the past couple of years to go
Right.
to all this. So you know the total of it?
We're almost like 55,000. Our goal hopefully is 10 years, 100,000.
Yeah.
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 But we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done very well.
Yes, you have. You have done very well, and
very
for some great causes, and for some local causes too. So, and of course, each year it's you try to find a charity that touches someone from your class,
Right.
And you've been able to do that. Unfortunately, been able to do that all through the years. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It started with a classmate.
Yeah, that had a tragic accident, and we wanted to do it to help pay for her medical bills.
Mm-hmm.
And then unfortunately, she passed away, and it became a memorial tournament.
All right.
About a month before the tournament itself. So then we just kind of started saying, well, let's just see. We've had so many people be affected by cancer, heart, different things, ALS.
Right.
So we just decided to choose one each year, and then, we'll start over.
Yeah.
But so far we haven't had to double up.
Right.
And then last year we gave to 2, which we've never done. We had a classmate that was a nurse get hit head on by a drunk driver.
Mm-hmm.
So we helped with her. They redid her bathroom so that it was wheelchair accessible.
Right,
So
right.
that helped with that. And then we gave to substance abuse and drug abuse. Coincided with that.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
So you're at Penn National Golf Course on the May the 10th.
Yes.
8 o'clock's when it all gets underway. Can people come and contribute there?
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we have some volunteers that's going to be there at registration, and then they'll set up the prize table afterwards. We have raffles. We have 50-50. Then we have, volunteers out on the course for a prize hole. And then our beer cart girls are all, volunteers. So,
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
It's all volunteers. I just ask and they say, sure.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. That's
So-
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's all happening real soon. But the first day you came out with, this is the day we're going to do the golf course. You had what, 8, 10 foursomes already before you even started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, afterwards, it ran so smoothly. And they said, "Are you going to have it here next year?" And I had already booked it,
Yeah.
you know. And I said, "Yep." And they said, "Well, sign us up. We'll be here."
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I might have like a month off or two between, but then I start up again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have to. For me to have it run smoothly, I have
right.
to
You have
start
to
early.
have to get it done early.
Yeah.
Preparation.
Yep.
Always the key, it seems to be. But no, so I know good times were had by all last year, and the only thing you can't control is the weather. But you've been very fortunate in the 7 years so far. So
far, we're
knock
hoping.
on wood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We've never had rain, or it's either been like when it's over, or right before. I mean, last year we were crossing our fingers because the day we set up was that Friday, and it was pouring down rain.
Yeah.
And it called for rain that day. And we went out, and it was a little foggy, but the sun come out, and no rain that day. So
Yeah.
it was really, we've been
Good.
very fortunate.
Very
so.
good. May the clear skies be upon you again. Is that an Irish
The
blessing?
sun in your face and the wind to your back.
That's what it is. There's the Irish thing. So if you want to contribute or help out, just go up to Penn National or give Candy a call. Candy, what would be your email?
Yeah, as if nobody knows that
Yeah.
in Greenhouse. CAN, CAN,
Oh, yeah.
7961 @yahoo.com.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. It's the famous email of all. And so, yeah, you can give her a shout through email. You can help participate with the event. And if you can't do it this year, there's going to be another one next year. There always is, as they keep finding things to give money to, and particularly help out local people that is particularly in their class, which is your class has been doing this, and it was you guys just sort of got together and said, let's do this, right? It was right after.
Well, yeah, right after our classmate, had that accident.
Yeah.
Somebody reached out to me because I had played softball and coached all those years and played in tournaments.
Yeah.
And they said, well, why don't you, do a softball tournament or a golf tournament? And it's like, I really don't want to do a softball tournament because you really have to have a lot of teams to even
Yeah.
Keep it interesting, right?
Yeah, so I thought, well, okay, I'll just
Plus,
do
that's
it.
going to be 2 days, most likely.
Most likely. And, there's not a lot of fields around
Yeah.
here that are for softball,
Right.
like for slow pitch. So
Yeah.
I just decided to do a golf tournament, and I thought, how hard can that be? And the first year, but after a while,
It got easy. It got easier.
falls into place.
Falls into
and-
place.
Yeah.
Very good. So I think you and Don have something in common. If I remember, Don, you were a Yankee fan, right?
Nope.
Okay, then never mind.
I mean, back when Ruth played.
Never mind. I brought that up. Elisa Parson wants to know: will there be a donation jar at Hidden Key? How's that work? Probably not.
Probably not. I
yeah.
mean, you would just give it to me or buy a gift card and
Yeah.
we can raffle that off or whatever.
Mhm.
But I will be there at 6.
Okay.
So,
You'll be there at 6.
I'll be there at
yeah,
6.
6. So you can
And
see
what
Candy.
day is that at Hidden Key?
This
This
Friday.
Friday.
This Friday.
This
okay.
Friday. Yes. Trying to think. Trying to think what my schedule is on Friday. I think there's a softball game, but
I'm trying to think of other teams Don's not a fan of.
You two have something in common. Are you a Cowboys fan?
I did see a no-hitter last year.
Did you?
The one that was one of the senators threw it. Not senators, nationals.
The Nationals. Oh, okay.
That's how far back I go.
I thought you were going to say there's a little league game out here.
I'm still saying Redskins and Cleveland Indians.
Yes. I had to think with the Guardians the other day. We went down, and that's the game that played in the Jackie Robinson Day game. It's a great day. It's based on that whether Pee Wee really said it or not is will never be determined, yes or no. But we all should wear 42 tomorrow. That way they won't be able to tell us apart.
Right.
And the funny thing is, when you get down there and they're all wearing 42, and you don't know the play. I don't know the players that well. I couldn't tell them apart. Hey, 42. So, and I always like the PA announcer. Now batting number 42. Well, of course, they're all 42s on that day, but it's a great celebration day down there. So
Guardians is a terrible name.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what are they guarding? Lake Erie?
Well, the universe. Guardian of the universe.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
The galaxy. That's
But
what I
yeah,
wanted.
they could have come up with such a better name than that.
What's wrong with Indians? It's not like a slam on Indians.
I don't know. You
I mean,
ask them.
they-
I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah. You ever been to Yankee Stadium?
The old one.
The old one. Okay.
Oh.
Haven't been to the new one yet.
No.
I would like to get there. I wish I could have gone to the old one. I didn't. I can say I've been to Memorial Stadium and, of course, Camden Yards. And then I was at the old National Ballpark. And I was at the old Philadelphia Ballpark, which was just like a concrete structure. It's like they just poured concrete somewhere in the middle of the field down there. But, yeah, I've never been to the new Yankee Stadium. I like to get there sometime to see that one. I'm not sure I'll be able to talk Rhonda into that one or not.
Well, we can go and let Hallie and her at home.
That's a good idea.
Like
Or
we
they-
do that at home week too, don't we?
Yeah, that's true. That's how it works. She says she's going to be more involved. Rhonda says she's going to be more involved this year. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Yeah.
Should be more involved in Old Home Week.
Yeah, I mean, she wants to go to the
Right,
events.
yeah.
Well, I think
So
one
you
year.
make sure there's wine at each event.
Take it with you. It's a
sippy cup.
It's the secret to it all. Don, you've been around for Old Home Week. You used to cover the news for WKSL, and so
Yes, I did.
Yeah, many
and
years
the
ago.
newspaper, which
Well, that's true too.
more of a pain in the neck.
Yeah,
One
Old
time-
Home Week was.
Yes, one time my editor said, go down to the Old Home Week headquarters and get how many people signed in.
Signed in, yeah.
So I came back, I called him up and I said, 407. And he said, did you get their names? He wanted the names.
It was of the 407.
Of the four. And he got them as much as I could read them.
Yeah.
People didn't print their names.
No.
They'd scribble them in.
Right.
And
Well, they're in a hurry.
Who they
to get
were,
to the next
where
event.
they came from, how many members in their party.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was that part of it I didn't care.
You
for.
didn't
Some
get
of the
a good-
special events were fun.
Yeah, I get that. Now, Candy's in charge of the band concerts at the pavilion, and I'm sure that took a hit. The band shell, one side of the band shell, took a hit through the storm. That they'll try. I'm sure they'll try to get repaired. We're going to try to get. As I look at Bill, try to get Lon Barkdahl. I have his number, so I'll contact him, see if Lon can come up as president of Old Home Week, or not of Old Home Week, of King Playground, and see if we can get some damage report and approximately how much money they may need to get everything up. The one pavilion out front really took a hit, and some of the trees uprooted during that storm as well. So you live in Chambersburg, right,
Yes.
Don? You didn't get anything?
Got a pretty good storm through
Oh,
there.
okay. Came through there.
But the worst of it was,
Yeah.
the southern part of the county.
Did it wake you up, Candy?
I was up watching TV, but I
Didn't think it was.
I mean, saw a couple flashes of lightning,
Sure.
a clap of thunder, a little bit of rain hitting the window, and then the lights went out, and we sat there and sat there and sat there. But I didn't think it was major until then something come on my phone saying severe thunderstorm watch.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we get them.
Yeah.
And then we kept thinking, well, we're getting up and going to church, I think, and then no light.
Yeah.
Well, we got it about 7:15 Saturday or Sunday morning.
Sunday morning it came back on. I guess a lot of the churches were postponed or canceled because of that. Didn't have electricity. Bill, did you have electricity? At the
We
Catholic
didn't, it
Church?
didn't matter. Actually, it went out. We were there the night before for the vigil when it went
Yeah.
out, but we just continued in the candlelight.
Yeah.
And then the next morning they did the same thing, just did it all by candlelight.
By candlelight.
Yeah, but of course the sun's out anyhow.
Yeah.
I did know I walked the dog Sunday morning, and Presbyterians were actually getting set outside.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Setting up lawn chairs, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. So some made it due to it, and so yeah, it did seem to be like this area got hit really, really hard by it, and like I said, I got a note from Chris Palladino said electricity just went off here in the station, and I said, well, if there's a big storm, it could be a while before electricity, and I guess not everybody has electricity. I don't yet.
No, some of them don't.
Yeah,
Some people are still waiting. Yeah.
So it was one of those things. I did read somewhere that the tornadoes are shifting a little bit. I don't know where that was at. That the Tornado Alley isn't. It's making a move, which scares me a little bit because I like the fact that used to say here in Franklin County, for instance, you very seldom got earthquakes.
Right.
Every now and then, a little shake up. The one we did have the one time, I missed it. I mean, I was there. Someone said, "You feel that?" I said, "Feel what?" It was that type of thing. And here it is. The U.S. has experienced an unusually active tornado season in 2025, with many tornadoes touching down farther east than in previous years. The shifts has been notable, with more tornadoes occurring in states such as Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. It used to be Texas and Oklahoma. So I know Jason said last week when he was in Tennessee that they spent one day in their closet with their dogs and cats and just waiting out the tornadoes, though I don't know if it was determined that we had a tornado or not. I don't know what the official account on that was.
Well, I'm sure meteorology has come to a point where they can much better predict these. It used to be they would send somebody out. I remember this.
Yeah.
They would send somebody out to inspect a site and say, maybe it was a tornado, maybe it wasn't.
Right.
Of course, they've got the radar, Doppler radar,
Yes.
and other
Yeah.
things. Of course, we noticed tornadoes more because, well, when I was a kid, there were 180 million Americans.
Yeah.
And now there's 350. And
Right. It's like a lot of
a
things.
lot more things to hit.
Right.
For a tornado to hit
Yep.
now.
It is. It is. It's we talk about how deadly 81 is. Well, that's because there's 10 times as many cars out there and trucks out there as it used to be, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. But you're right, a lot more people around, a lot more people to notice that there's tornadoes, and a lot more houses to take down when they do hit. So
I had an editor once for another paper said he wanted me to do a story on the 81 corridor through Franklin down through West Virginia, and he said, theme was don't prejudge what the story ought to be. He said it's about the highway of death. And that year, for that year, I checked with the state police in all three areas.
Yeah.
Not a fatal accident.
Not a fatal accident. Yeah.
I-70 was
I-70
where
was
all
worse.
the fatal accidents had been that year.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know how it picks or chooses that, but never nice when that happens. Though we've had a few of those already this year, unfortunately. So anyway, everyone survived the storm as we start to clean up for it. But the band shell, I'm sure, will be ready to go. And of course, your other big event is the which is the Navy Chorus. It's a Navy Chorus.
The Chanters.
Yes.
It's a 22 member group this year, and it's something different. They've always provided us with, since I've took over doing it with service organizations, and they can't fill everything with all the instrumental,
right?
So they gave us this opportunity, and I said, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, no, I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some sort of instrumentation with them.
Probably, canned music maybe, or
that could
I
be,
don't know,
yeah.
or maybe somebody. They just said they were 22, so
They could be playing off of
Yeah.
tracks, and so
Sure, yeah.
Sure, that would be it. But that's prior to the fireworks, and that's all happening on Friday night at the high school, and always it's just a pretty neat event. And they, the amazing thing about it, there's so many talented musicians in those organizations. So I'm sure this will be just as good. So, tell me again, who's at the band shell?
Let's see, Mercersburg Community Band, the New Horizon Band, the Wayne Band, the Shippensburg Swing Band, the Shippensburg German Band, and the Crosswinds. We have them new this year.
Okay.
We usually get the Mason-Dixon
Barbershop Quartet.
Yeah, their chorus, and they just couldn't do it this year.
Okay.
They some of their key members were going to be on vacation.
They lost their bass.
Yeah. So, Crosswinds reached out, and it just kind of
worked out that way.
Yeah. So that's something new that we haven't had, so that might hit a good, different crowd.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's good to be able to be, get that in. So.
Who was the two Shippensburg organizations?
Swing band and German band.
They're the same group. They just
yeah, they just do different instruments and play different music.
Put on the lederhosen.
Yeah.
Bring out the oboe.
Yes, they change up. Swing band oboe. Who plays the oboe in a swing band?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not even sure what an oboe is.
It's a wind instrument. I do know that. I do know that. Played with a reed. That's so I'm pretty good at those identifying those things.
Your music.
Yeah.
So,
You'd think you played in the band.
well, one would think, but one's never sure.
Well, you know.
Yes.
You know what my mother always said? You played the best drums. So, you know.
Yeah. Bless her little heart.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that there are the concerts that are taking place, and again that always a fun time. Old Home Week. We always ask this, and so I always ask people that come in, especially during that time period, what's your favorite event of Old Home Week?
Oh my, there's so many.
I know it is. It's not easy to determine sometimes.
I mean, you like the square, you know. I mean, seeing everybody, but probably the pageant.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
I've played in that for.
Oh, that's right. You've been in the pageant. Now
I was a junior in high school just a couple years ago.
Yeah. And Philip Bear sat beside you too, I think.
Well, now I have to tell you, yesterday we were talking to my grandsons, and they heard that I was going to be on the radio, and they thought that was really
cool. Yeah.
And then Hallie said something about Greg, and we said about this, and she said, well, you know, Greg's your age, right, or a little younger? And I said, I don't think so. I said, I don't know where you got that, but, you know.
I did not talk to Hallie before.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, no.
Thank you, Hallie. You
emphatically said no.
No. Yeah, you might be the other way with that. So that's great.
So, yeah.
I love that.
I thought that'd make your day.
Yeah, I did. I feel much better about myself. So.
My favorite moments from the pageant are things like when the prop phone is ringing and the person answers it and it keeps ringing.
Yeah. A good laugh. Yeah. A good laugh.
Well, I tell a story. I directed the pageant maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm not sure, but the one time there was a traveling person, a cowboy that's a famous. I don't know which one it was. Came to town and played at the Gem Theater, which is, up where B Street is now. And he did some fancy shooting. So that we were doing a little scene, and so there was a person with a balloon on their head, and this guy was going to shoot the balloon, that type of thing. So what would happen was he'd fire the gun, and I was behind a structure, and I would pop the balloon with a pin. Well. Oh, he goes, ready, aim, and I got excited. I hit the balloon popped before he shot, and of course, that was one of the highlights of it. It was one of the highlights of the thing. And I can remember one other time. Russ Clever got so mad at this, but it was great. I think Barry Stoudemire was playing on this one. It was a Frank Mound, Russ Clever, and one of the old male persons. And something happened that they ran into it, and all the mail went everywhere, and his cart fell apart. And they were into the scene about 2 minutes. And Barry, for some strange reason, got the tire that was off of the cart and rolled it out, like 2 minutes later, and it was hilarious. It wasn't planned, and Russ got so mad because it wasn't planned. Russ Clever, the guy that
constantly ad-lib.
never followed a script in his life that I know of.
Russ's whole life was one big ad-lib.
Yeah, he got mad at the ad-lib. Such is the case sometimes, but good times are had by all. It is 8:30, and we're going to take. How'd that clock get to 7:30 there? I don't know. That one's at 7:30. Huh.
Power was out.
Oh, well, wait, they're battery operated.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll fix them here. Anyway, I looked it out and go, 7:30, man. It's been a long morning here at the morning show, but it's 8:30. We're going to take a short break for news, catch up what's going on. We'll be back right after that, right here, 93.7 WRGG.
listening to The Morning Show on WRGG. 93.7 WRGG.
With news and weather together. Coming up next.
From high above the broadcast house in downtown Greencastle, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The body of Pope Francis is now lying in state at St. Peter's Basilica. NBC's Tom Yamas reports that members of the public will be able to pay their respects during 3 days of public viewing.
His funeral is planned for Saturday morning, with several world leaders expected to attend, including President Trump, President Zelensky, and the Prince of Wales.
Earlier today, Pope Francis's body was carried out of his residence on a wooden platform held up by 14 pallbearers in a procession that included priests, cardinals, friars, and Swiss guards. The 88-year-old pontiff died Monday of a stroke and heart failure. Thousands are under evacuation orders today thanks to one of the most massive wildfires in the history of Ocean County, New Jersey. The Jones Road forest fire was first spotted yesterday morning in the Greenwood Forest Wildfire Management Area. It scorched more than 8,500 acres. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Epperle's Plumbing and Heating can provide all your plumbing needs, from a new water softener or water heater to fixing that leaking faucet. Large to small, Epperle's can do it all. Family owned and operated at the same location since 1945. Professional residential and commercial sales, service, and installation. Their 4 master plumbers and friendly staff do quality work at affordable prices. An appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG, Epperle's Plumbing and Heating can be called at 717-597-7933. Remember, quality service leaves no regrets. Epperle's Plumbing and Heating, 9187 South Rabbit Road, Greencastle.
This is a Radio PA news update. Delaware County communities are scrambling to fill a major emergency services gap. Services shut down its EMS operations.
Open the freaking window. Monday to Friday play.
That means longer wait times and fewer ambulances. Chester Mayor Steve Ritz called the situation fluid and scary, noting delays in EMS can be life-threatening. Now each municipality must secure or fund their own emergency services, something most haven't budgeted for. As primaries approach, some legislators aim to address election issues from last November. John Schaefer explains.
Representative Frank Burns of Johnstown has introduced a bill to standardize pre-election testing across counties. This follows a malfunction in Cambria County's ballot counting system, which led to manual vote counting and an extended voting deadline. In Pennsylvania, elections are managed by each of the state's 67 counties, a process that has gained scrutiny after high-stakes elections, with some methods, like Cambria's, being little understood.
Pope Francis, who passed away on Monday at age 88, will have his public viewing begin on Wednesday at St. Peter's Basilica, where he made his last public appearance on Easter Sunday. His funeral will be held on Saturday. Francis died from complications related to a stroke, including a coma, heart failure, respiratory failure, and double pneumonia, as well as diabetes and hypertension. The Vatican released images of the Pope in a wooden casket wearing red vestments. In his will, he requested a simple tomb with only inscription, Franciscus. President Trump, as well as First Lady Melania Trump, have announced they will attend the funeral in Italy. St. Christopher's Hospital for Children has named Jody Coombs as interim CEO effective Tuesday. Coombs previously served as Executive VP and COO of Children's Mercy Kansas City. She replaces Rob Brooks, who held the role since February 2024. Coombs steps in as St. Chris sees financial improvements, largely due to $76 million annually from the Philadelphia Hospital Assessment. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can support the small businesses that are dreaming big. Together, we can help families spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more about M&T's commitment to the people, businesses, and community organizations we serve at mtb.com/togetherwecan. Or stop by any local M&T Bank branch. Member FDIC.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. If you like food, I've got a deal for you, and you can help one of the schools out here locally. Get to that in a minute. First, damage cleanup in Franklin County moving forward. Meanwhile, damage assessment by Greencastle Emergency Management is complete, and word is that the total damage to residents and buildings in the borough could reach around $250,000. The worst damage to borough property was at Jerome King Playground, where a pavilion was destroyed. I'm sure you've seen the pictures by now, along with some of the aluminum bleachers, and those are going to be costly to replace. Word from Franklin County 911 is that overnight Saturday into Sunday, well over 500 911 calls were made, while in Washington County, the 911 center there received well over 1,500 calls during the same time period. In Waynesboro, Burnt Hill Cemetery suffered significant damage during the storm. Published reports say it could cost up to $12,000 for repairs. Well, that's money that the nonprofit cemetery doesn't have, and a spokeswoman told ABC 21 that if they cannot come up with the money, they may have to turn the cemetery over to the borough. There is some good news in Greencastle. The new Dollar General store is open. You may have been there already. That's on Antrim Way, and they're planning a grand opening. That's coming up April 26. Be looking for that. In West Virginia, sad news, the National Conservation Training Center, NCTC, in Shepherdstown reports that the 22-year-old bald eagle's nest on the campus there was knocked down in the storm. The 3 4-week-old eaglets did not survive the 90-foot fall. So if you like food, and who doesn't, you can get some good grub and help out the Greencastle Antrim Primary Elementary PTO. They've got a fundraiser going on today at Chipotle on Garland Grove Boulevard, Hagerstown, from 5 till 9. The store will donate 25% of total sales to the PTO. Eat up. Oh, and by the way, officially Earth Day was yesterday, but this Saturday there's going to be a celebration, an Earth Day celebration at Pine Hill Recreation Center, Menser Gap Road. It's a fundraiser put on by the Buttonwood Nature Center. Scott Douglas on 93.7 WRGG.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
The Blue Devil track and field team split their dual meet with Shippensburg on Tuesday. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House. 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. The Blue Devil girls picked up their third dual meet victory of the season as they defeated Shippensburg by a score of 76-74 in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division dual meet. Jalen Schmuck was victorious in both the long jump and triple jump, while Nike Ellenberger picked up wins in the 1,600 and 3,200 meter runs. Both athletes participated on victorious relay teams for Greencastle. Unfortunately, the Blue Devil boys came up short as they were defeated by Shippensburg 79-71 yesterday. Greencastle's Spencer Long was the only double winner for the Blue Devils, as he earned a first-place finish in both the 100 and 200 meter dashes. The loss drops the Blue Devil boys track and field team to 2-2 on the season, 2-2 also in the Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division. The Blue Devil softball team is back home this afternoon as they look for their second win of the week. They will be hosting Boiling Springs in a Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup. First pitch for that game is scheduled for 4:15 this afternoon, and the game will be broadcast live on 93.7 FM WRGG and streaming at midpennbroadcasting.com. Greg Hoover brings you all the action, beginning with the pregame show around 4 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Blue Devil baseball team is also back in action later today as they hit the road for their second game of the week. Head coach Eric Shaner and the Blue Devil baseball team will be looking to snap a 2-game losing streak as they take on Boiling Springs. First pitch for that Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division matchup is set for 4:30. That's a look at sports for a Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
WRGG weather. Now the weather forecast for WRGG. For today, we will have partly to mostly sunny skies, high around 75. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 53. Thursday, mostly sunny, high around 79. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low around 55. And Friday, partly sunny skies with a chance of afternoon showers, high around 77. For WRGG, I'm Nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Thank you, Jim Vaughn. 59 degrees already here this morning. Sun is shining brightly even as we speak. 64% is the humidity level. Record high for today, 92. Record low, 23. We'll be safe from both of those. 42 to 66 is our average temperatures, and we sit in the high end of that right now. 6:21 is when the sun came up. It'll set tonight, 7:57 the p.m., 13 hours, 36 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is at 59 degrees at 93.7 WRGG and on the web at WRGG.org. Greg Hoover, Bill Gore, thanks for joining us today. Candy Mountain is in, talking about Classmates for a Cause golf tournament, and Don Ains is in. Well, I'm not really sure what you're talking about, but anything that came up. Candy, I do want to go back. Is there anything we missed on the golf tournament that we needed to cover? Because
No.
sold out, and
Sold out.
still be at Penn National, 4-person
Right.
scramble. It starts at 8 o'clock that day on the May 10th, but you can support by going to
Hidden Key on
Friday.
Friday. Part of the proceeds that they sell during the 4 to 10 will go to Classmates for a Cause suicide prevention.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to, donate for gift cards and things, that's fine. We pretty much have the sponsor banner and the whole sponsor signs.
taken care of.
Yeah, they're
Right.
already in the process of being made
Yeah.
and everything. So that's kind of.
You're set, ready to go.
Yep. Registration starts at 7 a.m. sharp.
Yep. And, I look at it and think May 10th, but that's not that far away, is it?
No.
No.
And
What happened to April?
yeah. And
Really?
I'm always nervous, till I tee off and we're out
Yeah,
there, till we get
once
in.
you did that, so
so.
all right, very good. Some things that did you guys see this where an airplane and I don't tell these stories until after we get off the airplane because I don't want Rhonda to know these stories beforehand or she won't fly. But passenger on an EasyJet flight from England to Morocco caused an emergency landing in Portugal after becoming convinced that snakes were loose on the plane. Now, it began when the man wearing a snake pattern T-shirt began to panic and shout, "Snakes on a plane! We need to land!" As the situation escalated, the passengers became abused.
That crazy Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, I do have some audio from that airplane, this airplane we're talking about right here.
Enough is enough! I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane! Everybody strap in! I'm about to open some freaking windows.
About to open some freaking windows. Monkey-fied.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the term he used in
No,
the movie.
no.
Monkey-fied, but yeah.
Just wanted 20, 30 years ago, when people still sometimes put on a coat and tie when they got on a plane.
Yeah.
People weren't going nuts on airplanes.
No, they weren't. So we need to institute a dress code.
Maybe drug testing.
Before you get on. They think this guy might have been under the influence. Snakes on a plane. But I found it strange that he was wearing a snake shirt. So I don't know. He was hallucinating. They think that the snakes from his shirt were real. He was thinking that.
That might be what he was hallucinating. That makes sense.
I don't know.
He bought the shirt.
Yeah, he should have known. I like this one. The residents of Bangladesh say you should perform mock marriages with frogs if you need rain. One farmer says after 2 frogs were married, it rained within hours. Had a nice reception at the Cracker Barrel. So with that, I don't know.
Well, that's why things are so great in Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. According to a survey, when a town's newspapers close, what's the one thing missed the most?
Obituaries.
Yeah, obituaries.
Obituaries, yep.
Hard enough to get them into a newspaper nowadays.
I know.
They used to be free.
Yeah, now they're expensive. Yeah, you can get them online as well.
Yes.
But I know there's a radio station in Carlisle. I know very well.
obits,
It's where
yes.
Hollis Z works. They read the obituaries. It's part of the noon report.
Yeah.
So yeah, brought to you by a funeral house.
Shocker there.
Do we call them funeral parlors
Funeral
anymore?
parlor, yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Homes, too.
Yeah.
Funeral
Funeral
homes.
parlor, yeah.
Funeral homes, I think, is
Home to
the
who?
best ones here. Bill, I know you know this well. It's time to choose a new pope.
Yes, indeed.
That'll
Yes,
start. The movie Conclave, if you never watched that has risen in the last. What's that?
I saw it last.
Yeah.
I saw it on television.
Yeah.
Months ago.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It is.
It's a good movie. Everybody's watching that. I think there's some excellent choices out there in the transfer portal. So I think
I'm going with Cardinal Dolan from New York.
Yeah, I think it will be good. That it'll be interesting as always. You people gather and look for the black smoke or the white smoke, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
White
Black
indicates
smoke,
they have found somebody, and it will take a while.
It's 2/3 vote, I think.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's all secret ballot.
Yeah.
Until they have that 2/3. Yep.
And then it's over. So we'll see how long that takes. I didn't realize that he had been there since.
2013. Wasn't it?
2013.
12 years.
Yeah, a long time for that. So that's good. Let's see here. What else didn't we? The FDA is suspending a quality control program for its food testing laboratories because of staff cuts, which means mystery meat just got a whole lot more mysterious. It's we used to have that at school all the time.
Mystery meat, yes.
What is it? I don't know. Just eat it. Okay, we will do that one. So, Jen Parsons interviewed Don's father many years ago for a school project, and we were just reminiscing about how wonderful his father was.
Oh.
Yeah, very good.
But not how wonderful Don is?
No. He's junior. He was senior.
Yeah.
Don ain't senior.
My brother sent me a recording of an interview that some student did with my uncle, who was also a World War II veteran. And my uncle would brook no idiots.
Brook no
idiots. It was like he was very high up executive with two major companies, and the girl asked him a question. He says, "I already told you that."
Oh,
it was a very matter-of-fact guy.
Nice for the high school kid. I'm sorry.
High school kid. It was like a 9-year-old.
How mean can you be? Listen, pay attention. I don't have time to fool around with you guys. That's what we say here on the morning show a whole lot.
All the
pay
time,
attention.
yeah.
Pay attention.
Poor kid started crying.
Yeah. Well, the kid swore at him. I don't know what happens next. So
toughen up, kid.
Yeah, come on. Speaking of toughen up,
Birthday club,
we're gonna do the birthday club one more time.
Everybody
before we go
celebrates
today.
birthday club on
Music, by the way, at 9 o'clock.
WRGG.
I know that's a treat. After listening to us, it's always a treat.
Give the people what they want, Greg.
That's right, and it's not us.
More and more Charlie Parsons' idea of an hour of silence. It sounded pretty good.
Yes.
1564 saw the birth of William Shakespeare, English playwright, poet, and actor. His known works include 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and 3 long narrative poems. His plays covered comedies, histories, and tragedies, include Julius Caesar, Hamlet, and Much Ado About Nothing. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language. 1791 saw the birth of James Buchanan, American attorney, statesman, and politician, who served as 15th President of the United States. He also served as Secretary of State, Minister to Russia, and Minister of the United Kingdom, and represented Pennsylvania in both houses of Congress. He was the first president of Pennsylvania and the only bachelor president. Shirley Temple Black, born this day in 1928. American actor, singer, dancer, and diplomat. She's Hollywood's #1 box office draw as a child actress from 1935 to 1938. Later, she was named United States Ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia and served as chief of protocol. Her films include The Little Colonel, The Littlest Rebel, Rebecca Sunnybrook Farm, and Heidi. Roy Orbison, born this day in 1936. American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. He co-wrote or wrote almost all of his top 10 hits, including Only the Lonely, Running Scared, Crying, In Dreams, and Oh Pretty Woman.
All right, we got to tell the story here.
About my aunt.
Yes, go ahead.
My Aunt Sue, I like to tell the story, is the reason he wore sunglasses. She was his biggest fan, and anytime he came to Montreal, she would actually go to the airport. And so the one particular time she was there, and he comes off the plane, and she comes running up, and she gives him this big hug. And she reached into his pocket. She stole his glasses.
Oh.
And then she was a fanatic. Oh, she had autographed pictures and everything.
But he didn't have his glasses to go on.
So later on, he's got to do the show, and he doesn't have his glasses. So the only thing he had was a prescription pair of sunglasses. Mm. So he put those on, and it started this whole new thing. That was his whole thing. After that was the sunglasses.
I thought he was blind.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he goes out on stage, everybody went nuts. This guy's wearing sunglasses indoors and at night. It started this whole new wave, and it became kind of like his signature look. And all because my aunt stole his glasses. Then she felt bad about it. So she went to the guy who was selling T-shirts, turned to be Roy's brother, and gave him back the glasses. Now, we grew up hearing that story. When you're a little kid, you hear something like that, you just believe it because your aunt's telling you that.
Right.
Then you get older, you start to get a little quizzical about it. Well, maybe that did, maybe it didn't. And then it was the year I actually saw him in concert, and it was the year he was in town with Montreal. It was him and the Beach Boys, and he was doing a promo for the concert on the local radio station. And he told the story just like my aunt told it.
Wow.
So yeah, and he talked about the fact that she was like his biggest fan.
Yeah, and biggest thief.
Yeah, every time I come to Montreal, she'd be at the airport. And in fact, the crazy thing is when his set was over, she was like, people were going to the bathroom or whatever before the lights went back out for the Beach Boys, but she's not her.
Yeah.
And she'd got tickets very close to the stage, and she's just screaming. And because the lights are all on, he's long since walked off stage.
Right.
But she's just screaming and screaming till he finally comes back out. And he goes to the edge of the stage and waves at her.
Yeah.
Like this is like they do every time. And he goes back out, and she's like, oh.
Is your aunt still around?
She's still around. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Still
yeah.
sees Roy when he comes.
Yeah.
A great voice and kind of a tragic life.
Yeah.
You know, he had multiple tragedies in his
absolutely.
life.
Yeah,
He died at a relatively young age.
Oh, absolutely.
He was in his 50s, but I used to say he died at number 8 because the last song he did released was "You've Got It."
You've got it. Yeah.
You got
And I think it was at number 8 in the charts when he
passed away.
Yeah.
Not
he
bad.
lost his first wife in
in a fire.
A freak act. No, it was a freak act.
Oh.
Kids died in a fire.
Kids died.
The wife died. They were motorcycling, and a guy getting out of a pickup truck had his door open, and she drove into the door.
Yeah.
And that's what killed her. The kids died in a fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry I brought that uplifting segment up here on the morning show. Any other birthdays, Bill?
Oh, yes, indeed. We've got David Burney, born this day in 1939. American actor and director. His career included performances in theater, film, and television. His TV series include St. Elsewhere, Bridget Loves Bernie, and Serpico. He began acting while in the U.S. Army. Lee Majors, born this day in 1940, is Harvey Lee Yeri II. American actor, portrayed the character.
Who names their kid after Harvey Lee Oswald?
Yeah, exactly. He portrayed the characters.
Has a ring to it.
Heath Barclay on The Big Valley, Colonel Steve Austin on The $6 Million Man, Colt Seavers on The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
His films include The Norseman, Clambake, and Will Penny. Majors and his then wife Farrah Fawcett Majors. Inspiration for the song Midnight Train to Georgia was written by his friend Jim Weatherly. Sandra Dee, born on this day in 1942 as Alexandra Zuck. American actress who began her career as a child model. Her films include Gidget, Imitation of Life, A Summer Place, and Until They Sail, for which she received the Golden Globe Award for Best New Star. Hervé Villechaize, born on this day in 1943, French actor, best known for his roles as the evil henchman Nick Nack in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun, and as Mr. Work's assistant tattoo on Fantasy Island. At 18, that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At 18, he became the youngest artist ever to have his work displayed in the Museum of Paris. Joyce DeWitt, born on this day in 1949, American actress who played Janet Wood in the sitcom Three's Company. She earned her bachelor's degree in theater from Ball State University and her Master of Fine Arts from UCLA. Jan Hooks, born on this day in 1957, American actress and comedian best known for her tenure on Saturday Night Live from 1986 to 1991. Her other TV work includes Designing Women, Third Rock from the Sun, 30 Rock, and The Simpsons. Her films include Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Batman Returns. Valerie Bertinelli, born on this day in 1960, American actress, television personality. TV work includes One Day at a Time, for which she won 2 Golden Globe Awards, Touched by an Angel and Hot in Cleveland. Bertinelli has hosted several programs for the Food Network, including Valerie's Home Cooking and Kids Baking Championship. And George Lopez, born on this day in 1961, American stand-up comedian and actor, best known for the sitcom George Lopez, of which he was the co-creator, writer, producer, and star. It was Sandra Bullock who suggested Lopez produce and star in the sitcom. But, Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
Here they are. Cheryl Lynn King is having a birthday today. Kim Palmer as well. Angie Sparkman celebrating today on the 23rd. And Diane Stoudemire Groover is having a birthday today. She has been on the show previously. Like Dawn Ames, she has written a book or two, and we had her on the show as well. It's the Birthday Club right here at 93.7 WRGG, which brings us to this part of the program.
Hey, on the morning show.
Greg Hoover.
Going your way, Bill. Start us off. What you
yes,
learned
sir.
today?
Well, I
And
was
be thinking, the rest of you. Be thinking.
I was reminded of Don's book, Strange Obscure Stories of World War II, which I'm going to look up on Amazon.
Oh, thank you.
I do recall when you were on here the first time to promote it. It was a wonderful interview. Let's see. I remember. We're reminded of the Classmates for a Cause golf tournament coming up, and the opportunity to help out by going to Hidden Key. And I learned. Let's see. If you want to know more about Chris Palladino's favorite songs from the 1950s, listen to the first 10 minutes of This Week in Rock and Roll History. We learned that wiener dogs are apolitical.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are, as they should be.
And Barney is a plagiarist.
That's right.
That's the thing.
That's what you learned. I learned that Lee Major sang the theme song to Fall Guy.
Yes,
I
he
never
did.
knew that. Yeah, I didn't know
Which
that.
oddly was a huge hit in Germany.
Was it really?
Well, it's the same place where David Hasselhoff.
Well, that's right. He makes it big there too. So, Candy, did you learn anything today?
Yeah.
Okay.
That your kids call you George Lopez. That you have a big hat. And that you graduated with me that I didn't even know.
I know. Well, I'm younger than you. I think is what she said. Yes.
Yeah, so I guess.
I didn't want to put that down, but
Yeah,
that's
no,
I just stick in my head.
Yeah, I was going to put that too.
Don, did you learn anything today?
Still thinking.
Okay, well, it's
I
all right.
guess it was. I didn't know it was the Bard's birthday.
Yeah,
Or
there you go.
Buchanan's.
Yeah.
Or
I didn't know they were
Shirley
born on
Temple,
the
who
same.
had
Oh,
two-
right.
Yeah, she had a second act in her life.
Well, she really did. And I always thought it was strange that, when she got the jobs in politics, that this was the same girl was, on the good ship Lollipop.
Yeah.
Right,
and doing this gig now turned out pretty good for her too as well. So, well, okay. Candy, it's always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to have you in. Now you got to go back and do some teaching.
Grade.
Okay,
Papers.
great
Yeah,
paper.
grade
Are you in
papers.
semester break?
No.
Okay.
This is our third week back.
Oh, okay. I know your semesters are a little different than most on that one. So, okay. Dawn, thanks for stopping by. What you
Always
have
a pleasure.
What do you have the rest of the day? Nothing.
Probably yard work.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Bill, you going to work?
I'm working from home today.
That's right. You're
Yeah,
working from home
yeah.
today. Let's see. Tomorrow is Thursday. That means we'll have Jackie at the mic in the hour number 2. Vernon McCauley joins us for another Vern's Day on Thursday.
Nice.
And that's coming up in the 8 o'clock hour tomorrow. I don't know if he's bringing anybody or not.
He hasn't said.
No, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then on
He's
Friday.
going to bring Don with him.
On Friday, we'll be joined by Jason Cabler at 7, Ben Thomas at 7:30. I'm sure that'll be a big update on the storm that passed through as well. And then at 8 o'clock, Samantha Logston of the Cumberland Valley Breast Care Alliance and breast cancer survivor Patty Detman will be our special guest on Friday. That's what's coming up. We're already at Thursday. Man, this week's going by fast. Oh wait,
Oh,
I
my
wasn't in
goodness.
Monday and Tuesday. that might have something to do with it. Always goes quicker when you're not here. So it seems anyway. So again, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Also like to thank our Elisa Parsons for her contribution. Of course, Jason Cabler and Chris Palladino, almost forgot who that was, and Scott Douglas, John Freeman, Jim Vaughn, Michael Kastner, and Juan Hernando for the news. We always appreciate that as well. Again, today, music coming up next at 9 o'clock, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning bright and early right here at 93.7 WRGG. Sunshine, bright, beautiful day. Enjoy and be safe out there.